lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, here we go, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the PWCC Weekly Hockey Auction Ending Watch Party. My name is Jeremy Lee. It is December the 3rd, 2023, and we have a really fun show tonight. Some amazing cards ending on the PWCC Weekly platform. Let's bring out our co-host, Mr. Josh Madigan. Josh, what is going on?
Not a whole heck of a lot. It's a Sunday night, maybe the most excited I've been for a weekly auction. The cards are pretty incredible tonight, and it's kind of crazy to have, like you put in your Instagram promo, there's a number of Grail cards alive here in the auction tonight, so I can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
There certainly are. There's two big Grails that I consider, two cards I consider to be Grails. Let's just jump right in and have a look. First one, this Gordy How, well, not that Gordy How, the other Gordy How, this one right here. It's already at $18,500. This card is now there are several of these one of ones in the auction tonight from 05-06, the Cup. This is the first year of the Cup. And they had enough foresight back then to say, okay, we're going to do the base card. The base cards in 05-06 were out of 199. And we're going to do some patch parallels out of 10. And then we're going to do an auto patch parallel one of one. Well, outside of the Gordy How, the only bigger one would be Wayne Gretzky. But this is Gordy How. This might be his best card that exists. And I'm even thinking about his rookie and his 54 tops. I mean, yeah, those cards are more iconic, but there's plenty of them out there. This is a one of one from one of the most important hockey sets of all time, the Cup, most important brands of all time, maybe the second most important brand behind Series 1 and Series 2, the flagship. And look at that patch. I mean, this is an amazing piece of game-worn Detroit Red Wings patch. The autograph is beautiful, inscribed Mr. Hockey, stamped one of one from the first year of the Cup, which to this day is still, in my opinion, Josh, the nicest design they ever came up with. So to me, this is a major Grail card. Now, before I get you to jump in, the other Grail card that I want to show is this right here. 1998 Upper Deck Choice StarQuest Gold Wayne Gretzky. Now, as far as Gretzky, Grails, and important cards goes, from the 90s, this is one of his most important cards. It's numbered on the back out of 100. It comes it came out of a box that was like, 99 cents a pack. Tons of it made. Super hard to find. Only 100, of course. There's a green, a blue, and a red parallel that are not numbered. The gold was the big hit. And, experienced collectors consider this to be one. Some people consider it his best card. Some people consider it, among 3 or 4 Grails, numbered Grails from the 90s. And so I'm interested to see what this card does as well. Currently sitting at $2,900. Of course, all these prices are pre-buyer's premium. Josh, I want to give you a minute to jump in with anything I've spoken of so far.
Love the Gretzky. I'm not as versed as, like, I saw Frank Porco in the chat. He probably knows more about this card than, or he'll forget more about it than I'll know in my lifetime. But very, very cool card. It's from the turtleneck era, which isn't exactly my favorite Gretzky era, but I do appreciate it. But I am in all sorts of love with the Gordy How, and that's high praise coming from you, Jeremy, to say this might be better than his 51 Parkey. But I agree with you. Aside from maybe the small sticker auto part of it, the patch is ridiculous. I wish that there's provenance. I would love to know what year that jersey was from. it feels like it's, well, it's got to be at least the 60s, right? At the latest and earliest in the 50s, probably. But to have the Mr. Hockey inscription, to have the auto be so beautiful and to be so smooth and just a beautiful auto, this is a crazy card. And, I'm sure we won't see it for many, many, many years after it's sold tonight. I would hope not anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've seen this card since 2006 when the product came out, is my guess. I don't remember. I mean, I've been searching for the cup on marketplaces since it came out. And my search is simply the cup. So any card goes by any major marketplace, pretty much my eyes have seen it in the past, 17 or so year. What is it? Yeah, about 17 or so years. So I don't remember seeing this one. Not to say I didn't back when it first might have, hit the public, but these, listen, I would expect some pushback on my comment that this might be a better card than his rookie card or his second year or his 54 tops, but it's a different era. These are from different eras. Like, to me, yeah, I'm not going after this card. Meanwhile, I do have his rookie card, and I love that card probably more than I would love this one. But there's only one of these, so it's kind of in its own. It's just in its own category altogether. In this auction tonight, though, we have, I don't know exactly how many, maybe a dozen or 15 different one-of-one auto patches from 05-06 the Cup. That in and of itself is absolutely ridiculous. So let's start at the top like we usually do. Josh, I'm going to run through these pretty quick because we're going to spend most of our time, I think, looking at these Cup cards. We have a second-year Gordy, 52 Parkhurst, amazing card, PSA 6, pretty off-centered as you can see, but those corners and edges and the print looks amazing. 66 Topps Bobby Orr, autographed rookie card. The card is a 2. It's really off-centered. It's pretty banged up, but the autograph looks really nice. And then we have a third-year Bobby Orr 68 Topps in a PSA 5. I think there might be another one in this auction. I'm not sure, but I do love this card. This is a PSA 5. We have his 1969 Topps PSA 9 with the above-average eye appeal. We don't usually look at cards this low grade, Josh, from the early 70s, but this Bobby Clark PSA 3, it just struck me as being pretty nice for the grade, centering-wise, color-wise, but I think you want to look at the corners on this one if it's something you're considering. And then a 72 Topps Bobby Orr PSA 10, above-average eye appeal. A couple of nice Topps Orrs for people working on the Bobby Orr run. I'm going to pause there, Josh, and let you just sort of, I haven't zoomed in on these yet, but I'm going to let you jump in with any comments on these first 6 cards, and then we're going to go to comments from the chat.
The one comment that I have is just an appreciation of Bobby Orr. And for every copy of his rookie that I've seen signed, Bobby always seems to take the care to put the auto in a great spot on the card. He always puts it right below the chin. Sometimes like if an athlete's in a hurry, they'll write it right over their face or something like that because they're just trying to get out of the restaurant or something like that, or get back to the locker room. And so, if there was a spot to have an auto on this card, that would be the spot. And so kudos to Bobby Orr for taking the care to do that.
Yeah, well said. And as I said, it's off center. You can see a huge break right. This line right here, basically, this is off of the next card to the right of this break in the wood grain. Corners are pretty banged up, edges. It is graded a 2. I think that's probably appropriate. I have to open this one up. I know I said I was going to go quick, but I have to look at this card because I do love the 52 Parkhurst Gordy How, and this is an absolute beauty outside of the centering. I mean, let's look at those corners and edges are so nice. The print is great. It's registered for the most part. Yellow plate's a little bit low, but outside of that, this is a really nice looking copy. Consider the centering is what it is. I almost wonder if this wasn't if this had a qualifier, would this be a PSA 8 with an OC qualifier? It just might be 8 quality overall on that one. Okay, let's keep on going. Gretzky's. We have 4 that I've selected along with Josh to look at. We have an O-Pee-Chee SGC 8, a top 6, a PSA 6 with above average eye appeal, a SGC top 6.5, and a PSA 9 OC PSA 9. Let's look at the SGC O-Pee-Chee copy before we address the comments, and just want to welcome everybody to the show. It's going to be a fun one tonight. So here's the SGC 8, and it looks pretty nice corners and edges wise. That top edge has almost the perfect rough cut. Top right corner shows a hint of white. So does the top left, but minor. You come down the right edge, typical. Bottom right edge is really nice, rough cut. Come up the left edge, it looks really good. You got this one sort of bite out of it right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I do think that is simply the result of the blades that cut it, but it is something to be aware of if you are considering acquiring this particular copy. The registration, it looks, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You are seeing some blur on the bottom of the legs here and here. Like, we have seen them sharper, but be aware that is happening. And it's simply because it does look like the magenta plate is down and to the right a little bit. I think the yellow and the magenta are lined up perfectly. I'm seeing no white gaps between the blue border and the black lines anywhere, which I love when you have that. Face looks pretty good, and the Edmonton and Oilers are on the same plane. Looks good as well. I guess the biggest complaint I have, if I have to have one, is there's tilt. This card is definitely on tilt, counterclockwise. What I mean by that, for anyone who's new, the border up here is narrower than the border down here, and then vice versa. The border on the right-hand side at the bottom is narrower, and it gets wider as you go up, telling me that this card is counterclockwise, a little bit tilted. It's also situated a little bit high on the cardboard, but that's it. Otherwise, this is a very, very nice copy, in my opinion. I'm also let's just open this one up, the PSA 6 tops with the above average eye appeal. Just take a look at this from a distance. And yeah, I mean, this thing is very nice from a distance. I don't really have anything else to add to that one, but let's have a look at the Topps PSA 9 OC. We don't usually see Topps copies this off-centered, but this one, look at it. It's way high and it's off to the right. But what PSA is saying is that other than that, this is a mint condition card. And, I'm seeing a touch of white up there, seeing something going on in the top left corner, fisheye over there, fisheye on his sweater right there. Not serious, can hardly see it. Fisheye over here. Registration's really good. Like, I'd say it's almost perfect. Bottom corners are I have nothing to say about the bottom corners. They look really nice. Is this a 9 OC? Yeah, I'd say it's a weak 9, despite the OC in my opinion. Josh, anything on these? And it just got a bit. Anything on these Gretzkys that you'd like to mention?
We looked at the SGC 8, just trying to figure out if if that SGC discount that we see in modern is kind of still present on the vintage card, like a Gretzky. And I agree with you. It's a pretty nice copy. The tilt actually doesn't bother me as much as that chunk out of the left side. I can't get that out of my mind in this card. And that's just one of those things that when you're looking at cards like this, that maybe a super minor nothing deal to somebody else, to me, has just derailed me on this card.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's the thing about Gretzky rookies. There's enough out there that I think people should wait to find one that is going to meet their needs and they're going to be happy with. This little, you call it a chunk. That's a big word for when you zoom in. It's pretty minor, but it does. Like, if that was the consistent cut all the way down the edge, it'd be different, but it isn't. It's the only place we see it just like that. And I think that's kind of why it really bothers you, is because you do notice it. So I think that makes sense. I'm also curious to see what it ends at, an SGC 8 right now at 52.50, where PSA 8s do, from 12 to 18 sort of thing, I would think.
Yeah, I have comps on that. So the last SGC 8 sold on July 14th for $7,200 US.
Wow.
So it's getting close to that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, 52, yeah, it's already at 6,400 or so. So we'll see where this one ends at the end of the night. We have a rookie year Lemieux PSA 9 O-Pee-Chee, the scoring leaders card. Again, this is from his rookie year. It is not a RC technically. That would be his rookie card, but this is a pretty neat card for somebody who wants to get, every rookie year Lemieux card. And there's 4 of them, right? There's the tops and the O-Pee-Chee rookie. There's this O-Pee-Chee, and then there's also the box bottom. So maybe, and I think there's O-Pee-Chee and a tops box bottom. So maybe there's 5 cards to go for. Before we go on, let's welcome Mike Double V to the show. Jake Dahl, Chuck Clement, welcome you guys. Louie, what's going on? Better buckle up for this one, he says. Frank Porco, what's going on, Frank? Good to see you, buddy. Daniel Pincente, good evening to you. Rally Sports Cards, happy to have you. Hobby Champ says that he's talking about this card right over here. The StarQuest Gold is a tier 1 Wayne Gretzky hierarchy card. That is a tribute to Cajun Cardboard's tier system for Michael Jordan cards. And I'm on the same page as Hobby Champs here. I do believe this would be a tier 1 Wayne Gretzky insert. Gary, what's going on? Just watched the Bruins beat the Blue Jackets. Now time for another great show. There's some great Bruins cards in this auction tonight. Name in the house. What's going on, Name? Welcome to the show. Cards AH. Good to see you. Jeff McMahon. Chris Perkins says there's also a rookie Mario sticker. Thank you, Chris Perkins. And that was, I believe, out of the tops or the O-Pee-Chee pack, right? Are we talking about out of those? If we're talking about like the sticker books, I'm not going to count those for myself. You guys go ahead and do that if you want. I won't count those. But if you're talking about the sticker that came out of the tops and or the O-Pee-Chee pack, I'm on the same page for sure. What's up, Sam Genova? What is going on, buddy? Addicted to cardboard. And Mitch Grotman is getting jittery, waiting for extended bidding. So speaking of extended bidding, everybody, I want to highlight something for you. You may notice that I cannot bid on any cards in this window. I don't have the bid button. That is because in working with PWCC, I said to them, listen, I'm going to be bidding on cards on Sunday, and I want to kind of keep that private until the end of the show. So can we open up another account? And they said yes, but it's going to be restricted. You can't bid or sell on it. So this is simply a browsing account that I now have on PWCC. It is completely restricted, and I'm going to be bidding on cards tonight. I'm logged in a different browser on my actual account, and I'm going to be doing some bids over there. So there will be a point in time where I'm going to say, Josh, maybe I'll talk through it. I'm just not going to tell you guys what I'm bidding on, but I'm going to be bidding. Rome Rant, what's going on, Rome? Welcome to the show. We have a 94 Pinnacle Gretzky Messier Team Pinnacle Dufex card. And I pulled this up because, Dufex was all the rage back in the day. And this is just a neat looking card. I've never seen this card in hand. I don't think, maybe I have, but I've never really noticed it. And I thought this was a really cool looking card. Messier is on the back. It's a PSA 8, sitting at $31. All right, now we're getting into the modern stuff. Gretzky, Be a Player autograph from 95, one of his first autographed cards, numbered out of 648. There you have it. And of course, the StarQuest Gold, that was at 2,900 when we started tonight. Now it's at 31. So this card, I do have a friend I know is bidding on it. I actually have a friend who told me what his max bid is. And I'm not going to say that, but I know at least what this might go for. And I wish him luck tonight. And then we have the SPX Ovechkin rookie jersey patch auto, BGS 8, with the auto coming in at a 10, sitting at 850. And, these cards, it's out of $4.99. These cards do come in several different colored jerseys. And I think you can get a 4-color jersey in this card. And so we will see what happens here, sitting at $850. Josh, any comments on any of this stuff yet?
Kind of cool stuff. So I have a question on the 95 Be a Player Gretzky. Is there no logo on that? Was that just a deal they had with the NHLPA and not licensed for the team then?
No, this is licensed. This I believe is.
Oh, it's just the way his shoulder is pointed. Okay, I see now. It looked like it was like one of the, like you see like Metal Universe Champions where Gretzky's wearing just like a blank white jersey, but I stand corrected. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is a very cool card. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it is definitely pretty cool. All right, guys, now we're getting to the cup. This is where the action is going to be tonight, and there are some amazing cards. Gilbert Perreault signature patches, numbered out of 40. This is a short print. These are out of 75 for the most part in the set. Again, this is first year cup of 506, BGS 8.5, Gilbert Perreault Hall of Famer. Dion Phaneuf, back in 2005-06, the Cup, there are only 3 RPAs that were out of 99. Ovechkin, Crosby, and Dion Phaneuf. This is one of them. 4-color patch, $82. This card was well over $1,000 at one point in time, but Dion Phaneuf seems to have fallen off the face of the earth as far as hockey cards go, and hockey for that matter. I think he's married to Alicia Cuthbert, though, who was a famous actress. We have a couple of gold parallels from the set. The Johnny Busick, these were out of 25. These are beautiful cards. And we also have the Ron Hextall here out of 25. So we'll see how these ones do tonight, the golds. And then we get into the patch parallels out of 10. Personally, I love these cards, and I will be bidding on some of these cards tonight. I'm just not going to show you exactly which ones or how much I'm bidding until the end. I'll share it all at the end with everybody. But for now, we have the Raymond Bourque BGS 8.5, beautiful 3-color patch. Also a Jerry Cheevers, beautiful 3-color patch, BGS 8. We have a Tony Esposito 2-color, BGS 8.5. And then we have a Wayne Gretzky. This is a huge card, you guys. I believe this is a huge card. Now, I'm going to show you my copy just for fun. I have a beautiful copy. That's mine right there. I pulled it out to show. It usually sits when I'm doing these shows right at the top there, right in those holders there. I have these out. I like to look at them. That's mine. I may or may not bid on this one right here. I'm not going to bid on this card. I'll just tell you guys that right now. I'm happy with my one copy. Let's let somebody else get a second, get their first copy of this card. It's an awesome piece. It's an Oiler piece. And yeah, I just love it. But I'm fortunate to have one already. And then we have, Josh, we have 2 Gordy Hows. Actually, let's just open these up. Let's open up the Gretzky. Let's open up the Gordy. And let's open up the other Gordy, which is on the next page. So the Gretzky's at $13.25. The 1-color Gordy How is at $410. So let's just close all this. So there's the Gretzky. There's the Gordy. We'll leave that open as well. And let's just let this thing load. Okay, and here is the second Gordy How. Now, this is not, remember, we have the autograph copy coming up later on as well, but this is not autographed. This is simply a Cup base patch parallel out of 10. But look at that patch. It is also unbelievable, just like the rookie or the autograph 1 of 1. So you got the nice 2-color piece there. You've got the single color right there, and you've got the Gretzky. Josh, I want to hear your thoughts on these 3 cards.
Well, they're all pretty amazing cards, and I don't think anyone would be sad to own any of them. There's something about the patch on the Gretzky that is geometrically kind of causing me some consternation. Your card has a way better patch. It just looks a little like, I understand the patch, I understand the value of it in here, but given that it's in the shield and it's kind of at a right angle like that, I don't know if that's distracting to anyone else other than me, but I wouldn't turn the card down, that's for sure. And yeah, I mean, again, how often are you going to see one of these again for sale? Probably not very often. And then I'm going to be interested to see on the Gordy How, given the difference in price we see between that 1-color patch and the 2-color one that has, what does it look like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different breaks in it.
Yeah, I am also, well, let's take a peek now and see where it's at. 410 on the 1-color, 13.25. So almost $1,000 more for this card here. Doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me that would be the case. This card is far superior to the other one. I also have a copy. I'll show you guys mine. Mine is kind of in the middle, I would say. there's my Gordy. You can see it's 4 breaks, white, red, white, red with a bunch of holes in the white as well. So I'm happy with this. I'm glad I have it because now I don't have to spend 13 and a quarter plus tonight to add it. So I'm happy I have one. I'll be going for some of the lower end players tonight, but this card to me is so great. I like these 2 cards of mine are 2 of my favorite cards in my whole collection. I'm in love with these cards. And the fact that there are other copies of them up tonight is awesome. You said, Josh, that when are you ever going to have a chance to find the Gretzky card or the How card for that matter? Again, I've been looking for the Gretzky. I was looking for the Gretzky for over 10 years. And I finally found one about, I don't know, a year ago or so. And I made a mega bid and I won the darn thing, and I've had it ever since. And I was not going to let that card go by. And I have to think somebody out there tonight is feeling the same way about this card right here because, hey, man, like at least it's a 2-color patch. It's got lots of blue, lots of orange. If there was some white in there too, it would be even better. But, in a card like this,
beggars can't be choosers.
No, you're going to, I don't know what it's going to sell for, but I have a feeling it's going to go up from where it is right now. I think that this one should as well. It's just such a great looking card. 13 and a quarter there, 410 on the 1 color, and 13 and a quarter on the Gretzky. All right.
Jeremy, one thing we should mention on the Fanoof RPA is I believe that it's in an altered slab.
Oh, good point. I didn't even, yeah. It says authentic altered, which is interesting. I wonder why it is authentic. What is altered about it? I used to have four copies of this card. I donated one once to a hobby fundraiser going back probably 15 years ago now. And back when I made that donation, this card was worth like $1,300 or something like that. And but I wanted to contribute. I don't know what's altered about it. Maybe is the patch, and the patch might be a known fake. That could be part of it. And I may have that in my database of fake patches. That's possible. But altered. Usually they're not talking about the patch. Sometimes it's color added. You see a bit of chipping right here. Maybe there's color added somewhere. I don't know what's going on right here. See that little light spot? I just picked that up with my eyes. Not sure what that is. Let's just have a look at the back of this card. Mitch says the patch is not a known fake, so that's good to know. And this patch is exactly as I remember all the patches being, like right from the same sort of jersey. And that, who knows what's potentially altered? I don't know. I have no further comment. I just have no idea what might be off on that card. But thanks for pointing that out, Josh. The auto may have been traced, Mitch is saying. Maybe the auto is traced. Let's zoom in again and see that. Gosh, I don't know. It looks like it does a couple like weirdness right in this area, but could that be traced? I don't know. Maybe in some areas, but that wouldn't alter the card, I don't think. That would just be maybe it would. I don't know what their rules are. Okay, well, leave that up to the bidders to decide what they want to do with that one. We are now in extended bidding, everybody. We are now in extended bidding, all access extended bidding. You did not need to place a bid before right now to get in on the action. Before we go on to the next few pages, Hobby Champ says Dufex rocks. Flyer Hawk says, man, everybody wanted him the first couple years. I guess you're talking about Gretzky or How or both, Flyer Hawk. Hobby Champs corrects me. The Gretzky autograph is only PA licensed. So thank you for that, Hobby Champs. And I apologize for my misspeaking a few minutes ago. And Josh, even though it's not an airbrush thing, but you were still onto it. So good on you right there. Flyer Hawk says, once people get priced out of the good patch, I think the lesser patch will catch up a bit. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Again, he is talking about the 2 Gordy Hows, this one right here at $410, and this one right here sitting now at $13.25. Thank you, Name. Hobby Champs, I wonder which the Cup cards Jeremy is in heavy on this week. I'll let you guys all know at the end, I promise.
Well, I have a follow-up question to that, and it's not a specific one, so you don't have to worry. How many, what's the number of cards that if you didn't win tonight that you would be pretty disappointed by? Like, is there 1, is there 3, is there 5 that you just feel like you got to have?
Oh, that question could reveal some things, right? So I'm going to say there's like 4 that I really want to win tonight. There's 4 cards that I really, really want to get. I'm bidding on more than 4 cards, but there's 4 in particular that are like, yeah, those ones I especially do want to get. So,
okay.
Yep. Essential Credentials. What's going on, Matt? Says some huge Cup cards ending tonight. Hope you're well as well. And Michael Ham in the house. What's going on, Mr. Ham? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. All right. So we have a Brian Leach 2-color patch out of 10. We have a Mike Modano 2, maybe 3-color as well. This is a BGS 7 here, a 9 on the Modano. We have a Cam Neely BGS 7.5 with a pretty sick patch there. Red, yellow, brown, black, 4 colors right there. Patrick Waugh, 3-color. I think this is a Legends jersey. I don't think this is from a Habs patch. I'm not sure. Does anyone know? Or is it an All-Star? What is this patch from? You've got a bit of light blue right in the bottom here. Black, gray or silver, and light blue. Does anybody know what patch that's from? I just wouldn't mind knowing for myself. Then we have the 1 of 1s, you guys. Patrice Bergeron. $1,450. Amazing card. Patrice Bergeron, like kind of an all-time great. Thank you, Mitch. An all-star patch. Thank you. I love this card. Patrice Bergeron. I mean, he's got fans. He's a legend. Just retired. One of the best guys to ever lace him up. I'm going to be really excited for whoever takes this card home tonight. We have the Jerry Cheevers. Also a really nice patch. Nice 2-color patch. 1 of 1. Auto. Phil Esposito. We have the brothers here right beside each other. Phil and Tony Esposito. So Cheevers is sitting at 410. Phil Esposito at 875. And Tony Esposito at 575. Now, again, you guys, over the past dozen years, I have known a few people who have been in the hobby who have tried to collect as many 1 of 1 auto patches, like base patch parallels from the Cup. There's a guy, Max, used to collect these things. He wanted all of them. I don't know whose these are, but I have a feeling who they might be. I'm not 100% certain, but there have been people who wanted as many of these as they can get. And that's what makes this auction so cool tonight, is that if you collect Cheevers or Boston, if you collect the Espositos, either of them, if you collect Bergeron or the Bruins, if you collect Hextall, Marian Gaborik, who has some hardcore collectors out there, Grant Fuhr, these are Grails. These are true, legitimate Grails. There's only 1 of them, and they're from the first year of the Cup. If this was 7th year Cup, it wouldn't be as enticing, but it's first year Cup. Josh, do you feel the weight of that?
Oh yeah, as you're talking, I was thinking, how amazing would it be to have a third person on right now, whoever collection this was, if they were willing to just talk about the process and time that it took to accumulate the collection, what their intention was in doing so, and then now how they're feeling tonight, because you'd have to assume this was what's happening tonight for this person is representative of years of their life and work that they've put into this, and it must be pretty strange to see all these go.
Yeah, these are cards that whoever owned these has had a lot of pride involved, and pride, and also it's like it's within the hobby, and I'm going to mention it because it's just a fact. Some people operate this way. there's status to be had with having, the best of the best. Only one person can own the Gordy How 1 of 1 right down here. This is the best card of the auction tonight, like by far, in my opinion. It's at $19,500 plus buyer's premium. The Jerome Iginla just hit $1,000. There are some pretty hardcore Iginla collectors out there, and I'm sure they're going after this card tonight. Maybe pair it with the Lanny McDonald, also from the Calgary Flames, Stanley Cup winner, 1 of 1. I mean, I think, did he win the?
Can I make another comment?
Won the cup in '89. I'm not sure. What was that, Josh?
I just want to make another comment too, where I mainly collect hockey cards, of course, and spend my life, basically all my free time, researching the hockey hobby. But I watch the premier auction and follow the other sports. And it's like, how many premier auctions in a row have you had the best Tom Brady rookie in? It's like the best of the other sports, they seem to be traded almost more as commodities than treasures to people. And I think what makes tonight so unique and it just has us all kind of charged up is this doesn't happen in hockey hardly ever. We don't see the best of the best cards come up for sale, and especially in a quantity like this. And then the last thing I'll say too is I've had this thought already where it's like we're breezing by cards right now, Jeremy, and spending no time that we would have spent half of the auction on.
Yeah.
If that was one card in there before. That's kind of just the ridiculousness of how many of these cards are available tonight.
Okay, so yeah, I agree. The all great points. And while you were speaking, the Gordy How got bid up, I think, from 19.5 to 22.5 now. The Iginla's at 1,075, and Lanny got bid up to $1,000. On the points you just made, when you talk about the best of the best, you'll see the Tom Brady championship ticket sell, every once a month or more, or more, or close to it. Same with the LeBron exquisite RPA. Those cards are out of 100 or 99. These are 1 of 1s. Like, these are even more. Sure. These are more special to the world of hockey cards than either of those cards are to their fan bases. They just are. Now, not all of them. Some of these players just don't matter as much, and you can tell by the prices. Like right here, Marcus Naslund, the Vancouver Canucks. There are some hardcore Canucks fans, but not as many as you would expect. Brendan Morrow, $200. Not a Hall of Famer, not a top tier guy, but somebody who had a great career. And Dallas Stars fans should be all over this card. Luc Robitaille, second highest scoring left winger of all time, behind only Alex Ovechkin. Played with Gretzky. Great card, great player, and this is his best card. These are these guys' best cards. Now you might have a shield, you might have a property of, but even still,
sure.
Some the comment Cards AH says, are these 1 of 1s sticker autos? They are sticker autos, so keep that in mind. That is the only knock against them. But these cards are so special that's kind of like something that if it just is what it is, like it's not going to hold back people too badly. You can tell by the prices on the key players right now. Luke F73 says the Patrick Waugh is from the 94 All-Star game. Well, that's really helpful to know. Thank you for that information. Daniel says, Josh, hockey collectors rarely give up their grails. And that is true. And good evening to the sports card professor. We are in it here, you guys. Mr. Davey says, I know the story behind a lot of these, but can't say too much more. I used to own 2 of the 1-of-1 base autos myself. And the fact that this guy is telling me that he knows now, I'm sure I know whose they are. Maybe they've changed hands once, Dave, but you can, I'm curious to hear what your intel is on these. Hobby Champ says the back of the Patrick Waugh says where the patch is from. Well, wouldn't you know it? Talk about the detail we used to get back in the day on these cards, hey? Where the jersey was from. All right, we have the
why these are. Huh? I was just going to chime in. Does anyone know why these were stickers?
Only Carvin would know. Only Carvin or people from Upper Deck would know, really. That would be about it. Unless anyone heard him say, but I've never heard him answer that question. Marek Svatos, Colorado Avalanche. He had a Hobby Love run back in the day. $210. Still his best card. Guy Lafleur. Guy Lafleur, one of the greatest of all time, 1/1, cup base patch auto, first year cup, one color patch, autograph looks good, $1,050. We have a Luc Robitaille scripted swatches out of 25. I do love, look at this. You've got the old school jersey, the purple and yellow jersey on this Luc Robitaille here. And on this one, he's wearing the more modern version. Mitch says that not even Carvin remembers why these are stickers. Unfortunately, Mitch did ask him. I asked him. So, good on you for asking him. So there you go, Josh. Not even Carvin can answer that question. Gordy How is now up to $27,000. That is $32,400, I believe, with buyer's premium. Now $34,000. This is now selling for more than maybe any Gordy How rookie card has ever sold for. Don't quote me on that. I think the highest grade is an 8.5. And I know one did sell in the high 20s a while ago. I don't know what the all-time record is. If somebody wants to let us know, that would be
I've got the info.
know.
I've got the info. So in May of 2021, a PSA 8.5 sold for $205,000.
What? 205.
And there's 205. And then there was a $108,000 SGC 9 in October of 2022. Now, what I will say though is I believe that this will be the highest non-1951 Parkhurst Gordy How sale ever, public.
And maybe the third highest sale of a card of his of all time, perhaps?
I don't think, well, okay, so there's been a sale of 205. There is a SGC 9 that sold for 108. Then 60,000, 56, 56, 55, 55. There's been a lot in the it won't be in maybe the top 15, 20.
Okay. Good to know. Mr. Davey says you can't even tell they are sticker autos. They are placed perfectly on all of them. So hard to tell. And he's right. I mean, even earlier on, Cards AH had to ask, are these even sticker autos? Like, they are placed really nicely. These are the earliest days of sticker autos that I'm aware of. So that's well said. YK does say 205,000 for a Gordy How card back in the past. Okay, guys. Well, that is the end of those 1/1s. However, there's a Mark Messier as well. This is a card not to be overlooked. 2011. This is the same thing. It's the 1/1 cup base patch parallel. This year for a patch, they used laundry tags. Not my favorite choice of material for a 1/1, but it's still a 1/1. Look how we put the autograph too, Josh, right up here. Like, nice placement of the autograph. 5 1/4 on this. We have a PSA 10 Patrick Kane SP Authentic Future Watch Auto, which is a really tough year, maybe the toughest year to gem SPA Future Watch Auto because of this top border in red and the bottom border in gold. Let's open this up. He has recently signed with the Detroit Red Wings, as many of you would know by now. And this is graded out as a PSA 10. I am noticing, I don't know if that's glare or what that is there. That might just be glare. But if that is white, then I think we have a problem with the grade, but it's tough to say. Autograph looks really nice. Bottom edge is often where there's a lot of problems. Looks perfect. Top edge, pretty, still a 10, I would say. I'm not just noticing one little thing in here that just kind of my eyes get caught by, but otherwise, PSA 10, Patrick Kane, Future Watch Auto at 15 1/4. And then last card on this row, did Gordy just get a bid? No, Svatos got a bid. Last card on this row is the Nicholas Backstrom Ice Premier out of 99, BGS 9.5 at $125. This card was a big card at one time, and 1 1/4 is definitely a bargain, Josh. All right. Mitch says that the Bellevaux, not in this auction, was a very unfortunate sticker. Okay, too bad to hear that. Hobby Champ says for the Gordy, highest non-rookie card ever. A good enough, amazing sale. No doubt. Let's see where it's at now. 27.5 still. Collectors Canada says, would you rather have the How 1/1 or an equal value 51 Parkhurst? It's a great question. I would rather have this 1/1. I'll tell you why, because I have a How 51 Parkhurst that is of lower value, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a PSA 4, and I saw a 7 for sale on Facebook today that I wouldn't even trade straight up for, unless I was going to sell it. My 4 is nicer than the 7 I saw today, in my opinion. So I would be happy with my 4, and I would take this card for sure and just get a lower valued 7 collector, a lower valued, Gordy How rookie Collectors Canada. Josh, what about you?
Well, that's a tough one because I don't have a 51 Parky Gordy How, so I would be choosing one or the other. I don't know. I feel like I actually like the 51 Parky card maybe a little bit better, but I'd probably take this 101 because there's probably more upside with it, and eventually I could sell it and just buy, like you said, a very nice lower graded Parkhurst one and be happy with that too. So.
Yeah, I mean, if the question was if you could only own one Gordy How rookie or this card here, which one would it be? In that case, I'm taking a Gordy How rookie. I'm taking the 51 Parkhurst.
Yeah.
That I would want that over this. But the question, as it stated, is would you rather have this one or an equal value 51 Parkhurst? I already have a lower value 51 Parkhurst. I don't need an equal value one. I love mine. I would take this in my personal situation. YK says, I believe Pop 32 on the Patrick Kane Future Watch Auto. That's a nice low pop. Flyer Hawk says, I have one of the best Patrick Kane Future Watch Auto patches. Is it worth grading? I mean, personal choice there. I wouldn't. It depends. Are you selling it? Then yes. If you're going to sell it, then I would say grade it. Justin Silver says 51 Parkhurst all day long. It's like the Mickey Mantle of hockey cards, in my opinion. I wonder, I've often thought that if you're comparing the 52 Mantle, that would be the 54 Tops would be the better matchup, neither of them being true rookies. But I hear what you're saying, Justin. And Mark Del Rossi wants to hear Grotman's view on the Bergeron 101. Is that patch legitimate as far as we know? I mean, I'm going to say it's definitely legitimate, Mark. That these things have been tucked away for so long that, I mean, yeah, I'm going to default. That didn't even enter my mind, to be honest. Is Backstrom a Hall of Famer? Yeah, I think he's going to get there. I think he gets there. I think he does. I don't know if he's a coattails rider. Look how Ovi's doing this year without him, right? Okay. It is now 12 minutes until the first extended bidding window ends. In a few minutes, I'm going to have to go place some bids, Josh, but let's go to the last page of cards that we have to look at. This is a grail right here too. Rookie year McDavid limited logos, BGS 9 sitting at $17,500 with a nice logo patch. It doesn't have any orange oil drop, but that is still logo patch. Really amazing card right there, not to be overlooked tonight. We have the piece of history from 2014, Gretzky jersey auto out of 10. There are people that complete this set. This is a very kind of one of those if you know cards. A lot of people love this set and chase it. I can't imagine this is going to sit at 11 1/4 for too long. And then this card here, the Lemieux pop-ups. This was a case hit or an Easter egg sort of thing in 2012 O-Pee-Chee. I love it. I actually pulled out a binder of mine with like miscellaneous insert sets because I was collecting this set, and I don't even know if I have the Lemieux. It might be one I'm missing. I have almost the whole set, but just to show you guys, there you have them. I don't know how well you can see that, but I have them in a binder here. So I think those are really cool cards. The pop-ups, they are reminiscent of some actual cards from like the 1940 O-Pee-Chee, I believe, was a pop-up, and maybe they did another one later on as well. Couple more McDavid rookies. Black, Upper Deck Black, jersey auto out of 50, PSA 8, and his premier RPA out of 199 in a BGS 8 holder. And then finally, a beautiful Ovechkin signature material from 2017, the Cup out of 25 at $750, 4,100 on the McDavid RPA from Premier, and a measly $850 on the black jersey auto PSA 8. Josh, you want to do some talking while I go do some bidding?
Yeah, I can do that. One of the things that if you could scroll up just a little bit back to the McDavid limited logos is um, we should probably look at the auto because I'm not sure that the auto is super crisp on this one. That from I remember looking at it, yeah, if you look at the 97, there might be some bubbling there. So that might be something for any bidder to be mindful of there. And I know that that's somewhat common in early cup cards, but uh, I looked at other ones where the auto was a little bit cleaner. So that's the one comment I wanted to make there.
Yeah, no, fair comment for sure. It's one of those cards where a lot of people will overlook that because they want a copy of the card. Not to say that's right or wrong, and I see the StarQuest Gold just got a bid up to 3,600, which really interesting to see. That's a Grail card right there. We also just got a bid on this one here. This McDavid just got up to 875. Elias Pettersson, Young Gun PSA 10. He's having a great season, 145. Carter Hart, exclusives Young Guns, 240. And Quinn Hughes, $64. That's a PSA 9. We also have a Gretzky Canvas Auto, SGC 1010. This is it's from buybacks, from 2019 buybacks. Beautiful card. Nice gold auto, gold numbering up there, $775. McDavid, 2020 Jambalaya at $900 for PSA 10. And the Kaprizov, who your team won today. Marco Rossi had a pair of goals there, Josh. But this Kaprizov clear-cut auto exclusives at $140 in a PSA 9 holder.
The autos on those clear cuts never they always seem pretty faded. I really like the cards themselves, but that auto is pretty tough.
Yeah. Tim Stützle, employee PMG, PSA 7, $92. A Gordy How Leaf auto at $105. And then the Wayne Gretzky Ultimate Inscription Redemptions, where you have your choice of what you want him to write on the card in addition to his autograph, is at $2,700. Okay, let's go back now. I'm just going to close all these extra windows for a few. We might reopen some, but I want to stay on top of this. And let's see where these guys are at. So the Gordy How out of 10 is at $1,875. The Bergeron's at 16.25. Cheevers $750. Phil Esposito $9.25. Tony Esposito $600. Grant Fuhr $775. Marian Gaborik $370. Ron Hextall $675. Gordy How is at $27.5 still. Igimla's at $11.50. He's been surpassed by Lanny McDonald at $12.25. Brendan Morrow $220. Marcus Naslund $350. Luc Robitaille $470. Marek Svatos $220. Guy Lafleur $1,050. All right, let's just hover around. Where's the Gordy? Let's hover right there and go to this first page now, and have a look at what the Gretzky base patch is at. So first of all, the StarQuest Gold's at 3,700. That was at 31 when we started, and the Gretzky is at 1,500 for the patch, and the one color Gordy is at 420. So 1,500 on this Gretzky, 420 on the Gordy, and 1,875 on the nicer of the two Gordy Hows. So there you go, everybody. There you go. Looks like most things are going to make it into the next bidding window. As we scroll down, and I can tell everything is green. Green means that we are not done yet, you guys. We are not done yet. 5 minutes until the expiration of the first extended bidding window. We are all green here, all green. A couple reds there on less interesting cards. Green on the Gretzky. All right, and back to page 1. Yeah, the Bobby Orr is going to go into the next window. This beautiful second-year Gordy, PSA 6 off center, probably an 8OC, just to, if you're interested in that kind of thing, if it was graded that way. 5250 on the SGC 8, 875 on the high eye appeal tops PSA 6. The Dufex cards at $35. The PSA 9 OC Topps Gretzky's at $2,100. The PA licensed Gretzky auto at $625, $37 on StarQuest Gold, $900 on the Ovechkin SPX rookie. Dion Phaneuf, not even at $100 yet, pre-BP, $130 on the Perot. Signature patches, the gold Busix at $20, the gold Hextalls at $58, and then all these patches, $140 on Bork, $68 on Cheevers, $110 on Esposito, $1,550. Gretzky's got a bid since we last looked, $420 now on the one color Gordy. $1,875 on the nice Gordy, $31 on Brian Leach, $165 on Mike Modano, $110 on Cam Neely, $240 on Patrick Waugh, $1,775 on the Bergeron, 1 of 1. Cheevers, $750. Wow. Mr. Davey says, I need that How 101 in my life. I do, but I will not be, that will not be my card. I can promise you that. 27.5 and 5,500. That puts this card at $33,000. USD, by the way. USD.
So, Jeremy, the Bergeron 101, right now, the bid amount is pretty close to what his Young Guns PSA 10 sells for.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Okay.
Kind of
I
interesting.
need
I mean,
Josh,
again, it's not a rookie.
let me put it. I'm now going to see if we need to go make a couple bids. So is there something that I can leave the picture on for you, the screen, somewhere you want me to freeze it here? Maybe on Gordy or something like that?
Sure. Yeah, let's go on. Put on the big Gordy. We'll see if we get another bid in the next couple minutes on that card as you're placing your bid. So go ahead and place your bids. We'll take it from here. Chat will help me out. So I'm just curious as to, beyond the Gordy How, beyond the Wayne Gretzky, where do you guys see the rest of these coming in? What are the other big cards? What are the ones that I think that might surprise us how high they go, right? So we have the Gretzky StarQuest, we have the 2 Gordy How patch, or the 101 patch auto, we have the out of 10 patches, we have the Gretzky patch out of 10. Is there another surprise? We have the limited logos McDavid, but it seems like every week there's always a card that sort of jumps out and get in the to the very end of the auction that there's a bidding war under. Just curious if anyone has any ideas what that card might be tonight. And then the other thing that I'm kind of curious about too is, with so much attention on these cup cards, are there other cards like maybe the Patrick Kane Future Watch auto, or I saw there's like some Ovechkin jersey autos. There's an Ovechkin Cup patch auto from 2017 that's amazing. Could one of those, maybe get some deals on those tonight with so much attention on the cup? Okay, so someone's saying there's a Rangers patch on the Phil Esposito card, and that kind of brings up a question too, because Troy and I have talked on our show a lot about that. Where does that bother people to any extent when you have the photo of the player from team A and then their patch from another team that they played on? Does that I think what it was last week in the auction, there was a Guy Lafleur where he was in his Canadiens jersey, but there was a huge Nordiques patch with the Fleur de Lis right there apparent. I think it was a limited logos card. And on our show, Troy and I had debated, does that bother you about the card? Does it detract anything from the card? And there you go, Mitch. That's pretty awesome. I don't know. Maybe I just have I like things too linearly, but that does kind of bother me. So it would take away a little bit from that card. But Mitch is saying that it does ruin the card. It's horrible. It's sacrilegious that nobody bid on the Phil Esposito, probably because Phil's Mitch's guy, and I'm sure he wants that one pretty bad. Do we have a bid update, Jeremy? Are you
I
plugging
just
away
need
here?
a few. I need a couple seconds here still. Now that it just kind of refreshed, I need to just sort of see where
Okay.
things are at. So I'm going to I am okay. It looks like Yeah, I'm just going to go through here quick. And sorry, it might not be as quick as I'd like it to be, but
Okay, well, so Flyerhawk chimes in and says, Hossa card, Marian Hossa, that had a picture of him on one team, Swatch was on another team, and the logo on the card was on another. So 3 teams represented within the image, the logo, and the swatch or patch. Yeah, I think that I don't know if I could do that one. That would be pretty tough in my mind. I didn't see. Within this new bid window, did the Gordy How 101 get another bid? Can somebody chime in on the chat there?
here I can scroll back down. It's still at 27.5. It needs a bid to get into the next window now.
Yeah, there's a number of these that it looks like that are red. So if they don't get a bid in the next 3.5 minutes here, we could have some that start to close out on that. I just keep going back to whoever. It seems like Jeremy, whose cards these are. Well, the Iginla looks like it got a bid, so that'll go into the next window. But how nervous the person is that's selling these right now. Who knows what they bought them at? So they may be way ahead of the game to begin with. But I don't know if I could watch at this point. I might just turn my if these are my cards and come back at a later date. Are you a guy that Jeremy that likes to sit and watch your auctions, or does it stress you out too much?
No, when I sell cards, I like to watch.
Okay.
Yeah,
I walk away.
I definitely like to watch them. Okay, so what do we have? We're 3 minutes away from, or 2.5 minutes away from the current extended bidding window, and I'm just watching the action that I have here. So let's see. I just got to see if the ones that I'm involved in, if everything is green right now, and it appears to be. So that buys me 5 minutes where I can talk to you guys again. All right. So okay.
Maybe I got a question for you, Jeremy, in the chat, maybe a little bit too. Is you look at like the Gretzky out of 10? I think we just saw it's at 1,600. Is that where does everyone think that these cards should be at? Is that where everyone expected? Is it lower than expected? Higher than expected?
Well, I can tell you,
cards we're not going to see.
I have this one here that I showed earlier. This is my copy of the card that's on the screen right now, and I can tell you, I paid just under $3,000 for this copy right here. So, and that was a while ago. Now mine's off the table this is off the table forever. You will not see this thing go for sale for 25 years. So what does that mean for this card here? I don't know, but I could see this copy going for close to what I paid for this copy, if not the same or even more, just because they don't come up. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go to some comments there. While I was busy. All right. Mark Del Rossi. I am not bidding on the Bergeron. Let's see what it's at, though. Gordy still at 27. So here we go. 40 seconds, and this might be over on the Gordy right there. The Gretzky is going to go into the next window. This Gordy is going to go into the next window. The Gordy up here is going into the next window at 19.25 already.
Wow.
Where's the Bergeron? Cheevers. Here's the Bergeron. It's at 2,600. I promise I am not bidding on that card. It's going to go into the next window. Gordy needs a bid in 8 seconds or it is over, everybody. 5 seconds left on the Gordy How Super Grail card, 27.5. Looks like that might have done it. Let's let this thing turn over. And it is sold for $33,000. So let's see what has sold now from this page. Gordy's still alive. The Brian Leach has sold for $43.20. Medano's still going. Neely going. These are all still going. Bergeron's at 2,600, still alive. Cheevers has sold for $900. Congrats to the winner, as has Phil Esposito, $1,260. Phil Esposito is still alive. Grant Fuhr still alive. Marian Gaborik still alive. And Ron Hextall still alive. A bid just came in on Grant Fuhr. It's now up to 9.25. Gordy sells for $33K. Iggy is at $12.75. Lanny McDonald sells for $14.70. Brendan Morrow is still going. Marcus Naslin sells for $420. Luke Robitaille is still alive at $5.25. Svatos at $230 still going. And Luke Guy Lafleur at $11.50 and still going. The Patrick Kane Future Watch Auto did $18.30, and the Mark Messier 101 is at $6.25. $6.25. LGC says, is it a big tell that Jeremy has 2 Calgary Flames in the same row as Gordy How? I will tell you guys, I am not bidding on any of the 1-of-1 cards tonight. So you don't have to worry about me. If you're interested in a 1-of-1, I am not bidding on any of them. I am going to leave them for other people. Not like I have that power, but I personally am not bidding on them. Cards AH, I feel like those StarQuest are big, especially for Gretzky collectors. Let's see where the StarQuest Gold is at. That is a big card. Gretzky is at $16.50. Gordy's at $4.50 now. Those are going to go into the next window. StarQuest Gold sitting at $4,440. All right, Josh. I need to go look at my action now for a second. But before, I'll just do some quick comments. Oh boy, this is stressful, you guys. This is a stressful one for me. Thank you, Cards AH. Shane K, the Lindros Maple Leafs patch sold. Are there many better Lindros cards during his Leaf tenure? Jake Dahl says, does Oilers Gretzky uniform patches make a difference in prices? Yeah, Oilers is where it is at. No doubt about it. No doubt. Colin says, congrats to whoever won the Gordy How. I will echo that sentiment. Cards AH is someone newer to the hobby. Were StarQuest big when they came out? They were big when they came out, but they've become even bigger over time. Okay, Josh, I need to go through my action here again. So let me do that quick. If you want to, let's see, going into the, okay.
Yeah, so any of the auctions that closed, anyone in the chat want to share any card that they won tonight? Be interesting to see that. And then Flyerhawk says that the Backstrom Ice premieres out of 99 looks like a steal. Yeah, it does. And I think the fact that he's been injured for the past couple years after having that hip resurfacing surgery, which sounds like the awful. It's hard for me to say. It makes me nauseous to even think about, which is the same procedure Patrick Kane has had too. So that's kind of an interesting tie in there, given that it looks like I'm not sure to what degree that injury or, can there be more severe, um, instances of that injury versus less severe because it's been a tough road for Backstrom to get back, and he's not playing this year, of course. And we have Patrick Kane who's going to try to give it a go. I think they said as early as Tuesday he might play his first game for the Red Wings. So, yeah, nobody's chiming in the chat, Jeremy, as far as, we got Sports Card Professor. Leaf Art of Hockey, Walk on Water Spectrum, Red Gordy How, auto out of 5. All right. There's one pickup from the auction.
How
are you doing on your bids,
Josh? Sorry, how did you feel about Marco Rossi's goals today?
Awesome. He's been the one bright spot for really the Wild this year and a season that's been a struggle. Now we've won 3 in a row since we've fired our coach. So we'll see how long that lasts. But if you follow the Marco Rossi story, it's pretty interesting. He had a bright future a couple years ago, then was derailed, got very sick with COVID, had those long COVID symptoms where he basically missed almost a year of hockey and had to really fight his way back, and then made the team out of camp last year and went 19 games without, I think with 1 point before being sent to the AHL. So for him to come back this year and to produce the way he has been really a nice redemption story for him, and happy to see it, and good for us as Wild fans.
Good to hear. All right.
Oh, the Gretzky StarQuest, Jeremy, sold for $4,400.
Sold for $4,440. Good stuff right there. Okay, so now I'm gonna just need to do this one more time, guys. See if I need to place any bids. I am bidding on more than 4 cards, just as an FYI. but I have won a couple already, so I'm pretty happy about that. Sorry.
So the only other public sale I can find on a 98 Upper Deck Choice Wayne Gretzky Star Quest Gold out of 100 was a PSA 7 that sold in January of 2023 for $5,640 US. So the BGS 8 goes for $4,400. What is that, about 10 months later?
All right, I'm just placing a couple bids here. Couple dozen bids. Just kidding. Just placing a couple bids. Gonna let them get through. Couple. I see my texts are lighting up here on the phone as well. Oh, well, Mr. Davey has told me that these cards are not whose I thought they were, so that's interesting. I do wonder if they sort of changed hands over time, though, and were at one time. Mr. Davey, if you have that information, I'm just curious more than anything. Doesn't really matter to me, but it's interesting stuff. All right, so we have now how much time in this window? This is a different sort of show because I'm literally like in on the action. I am in on the action. All right. Hobby Champ said had 20 plus serious bids on cards this week. Won one. Well, one's better than none. Hobby Champs. Actually, while we're sitting here, let's go and sit on this Gordy here is at 2,300 now. What a card. What a card. And the Gretzky's at 17.25. Backstrom does look like a steal, Flyers. It sure does. Congratulations, Professor. Art of Hockey, Walk on Water Spectrum, Gordy How Auto. Congratulations. Terry Fortune got the Dufex. Way to go, Terry. Good to see you, buddy. Marco Rossi has a great name, but Mark Del Rossi is not biased. I love it. I love it. Hobby Champs won a 1987 Leaf PSA 8 Barry Bonds. Congratulations. Larry didn't bid on any hockey this week. Auction from 60 SGCs that didn't fit into my collection. Oh, hey, selling, buying, at least you're in on the action tonight. Professor picked up the gold Johnny Busick base gold out of 25. Congratulations. Mike Double V, is it possible to filter out closed auctions in the current weekly? I haven't found the filter. I think it is. If you just refresh or click into an auction, then click back out sort of thing, that seems to work for us. And Alex got 0 wins on 0 bids. Congratulations, Alex. More money for next time. More money for next time. All right, we have 1:16 left in this window. I think my bids are positioned now. I've made my bids in this window. I'm good till the next one. So we will see. Gordy at 460 for the one color. Gretzky at 17.25. So here, I'm going to test my theory out. If I go to the top here, okay, Gordy, second year Gordy does 1950. Autograph Bobby Orr, 49.20. The third year Bobby Orr PSA 5 does 348. We're still alive here on the 69 tops. Bobby Clark, PSA 3, a nice 3, does $70. The 72 tops, Bobby Orr PSA 10 does $13.50. It worked, Mike Double V. Awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear. Gretzky's have sold. SGC 8, Josh does 6,300. The PSA 6 above average eye appeal 1,050, and the SGC top 6.5 does 960, and the PSA 9 OC tops does $2,520. The Dufex was won by Mr. Terry Fortune for $42, and the Mario Lemieux non-rookie card rookie year card does $240. The auto does $810. The StarQuest Gold $44.40. The Ovechkin $1,080. Perot still going. The Dion Phaneuf RPA doesn't even hit $100. The Professor won the Johnny Busick for $26. The Hextall has sold for $69. And then we have the Cheevers has sold for $93.60. The Bork is still alive at $190. The Tony Esposito does $132. Gretzky is almost at $2,000, more than $2,000 with buyer's premium at $19.25. Gordy one color at $460. I'm going to do that now. Let's go into one of these cards and then go back out and see if it'll clean up our page a little bit. Now I go backwards. I think that's the trick that I kind of figured out before. It's refreshing. No. Okay, so let's refresh from here. Oh, yeah, some are gone. Some of them are gone. Oh, that did, except for these two. I'll refresh again. What's going on here? Let's let that refresh. Check out this page. We are 3.5 minutes left. 2,500 now on the Gordy How. The Mike Modano has sold for $270. The Brian Leach we saw sold for $43. These are all still going. The Tony Esposito sells for $1,260. The 101. The Cheevers sells for $900. So we saw these. Seen these already? Okay. Page 3. What's going on here? Let's see what's going on with that Connor McDavid limited logos. It's at $21,600 now. It's sold for $21,600. The Premier RPA does $49.20. These are all sold. The Carter Hart 288, the Pettersson 175, the Ovechkin Signature Materials 960, Quinn Hughes 76, McDavid, Jambalaya 1080, Kaprizov 216, 120 on the Stützle, 132 to the Professor here for the Gordy How, and the Gretzky Ultimate Inscriptions does $3,240. I know a few people that were interested in that. I wonder if one of them won it. But that's going to do it for this page. We are going to the Backstrom 222. We're going to close this page altogether now, guys, and come back over here. We have cards that have sold. So let's go back to this one. I'd refreshed this, and we are down to these cards here. And then on page 2, we have some as well. Josh, I got to go check out my bids. I'm going to hover right here on the Gordy How while I go check out my bids, if that's okay.
No problem. So while Jeremy was reviewing the cards that sold, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the 72 Bobby Orr sold for $1,300 and change. And if that's the case, I think that would be a record sale for that card. So another, non-cup vintage record tonight. We're seeing some pretty high prices. I was also looking up the limited logos just for some context, and high sale to date on a 2015 McDavid limited logos out of 50 was last December, 45,000 for pretty nice 3-color patch. If you look at most recent sale, 31,000 on October 19th. That was in the Premier. It looks like the October PWCC Premier auction. That was a 2-color patch with 2 breaks, I think a little bit better auto and a BGS 9.5. And I think, again, I'm kind of going off the top of my head because I can't see it. It was like 21,000. That sort of puts it in the range, I guess, where I would expect it, given the patch and the condition of the auto. So I think that was a very fair price for that card there. And looks like we got just about a minute left in this current window. And it'll be interesting to see the again, which of these cards keep going. That Gordy How is a very, very nice card for even $2,500 bucks.
This is amazing. I mean, it's a weird thing mentally when you own a card. Like, this is my copy. Again, if people have just come, I'll just put the spotlight on it quickly, just to show the difference. The one at auction is definitely a nicer patch than mine, but mine is still really nice. It's nicer than the one color, but when I'm talking about psychologically, like having a card like this and then seeing a comp that we're about to get, it's at least $3,000 US right now, right over here with the, let me just bring that up. Oh, there we go. With the buyer's premium, it's neat to have a bit of an idea what something like this might sell for at auction. Not to say it would. I mean, comps on rare cards like this, I think, are less reliable than on a commodity type card because, people are out of the game at a point, but it's fun to know. And I purchased this card years ago now for much less than $2,500. So that's always a nice thing to think about when you're seeing this happen for the first time in so long. The Leach was a steal. Why he gets no love in the hobby? Unreal price. Are you talking about this one right here for $43? I don't think his 101 was up tonight. So Hobby Champs must be talking about that one right there. Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Welcome to the show, bud. Good to see you as always. As always. All right. Okay, let's go through these one-on-ones again. Here we go. So we have the Bergeron is now at $3,500. Guys, I wasn't messing around when I said these are Grails. Now, compared to some sports, this might not seem like Grail money, but trust me, this is Bergeron's got to be his best card. I mean, his Young Gun, maybe a high. Did they have high gloss or just exclusives for his Young Gun? I'm not sure. But in any event, this card is amazing. $3,500 on it right now. The Cheevers sold for $9,000. The Esposito, Phil Esposito is now up to $2,100, well outselling his brother Tony, who did $1,260. Grant Fuhr is up to $12.25. Marian Gabourik's up to $460. This guy had huge hobby love back in the day, by the way. Just exclusives. Thank you, Mark Del Rossi. And Ron Hextall's up to $900. Still going, of course. The Iginla's at $1,450 now. Will be outselling. It will be outselling the Lanny McDonald. These two have sold. Luke Robitaille's at $800. That's $960 after BP. Svatos is still going at $280. And Guy Lafleur is up to $1,775.
Wow.
Right now. Everything else has been sold. Wow. Wow. All right. 27 now, Josh, on the Gordy How. 2.5 minutes. I got to go back and check out my bids, Josh. Every window I got to be doing this. So I'm going to go have a look, guys, and see where I am at. I see I've won a few cards now. Oh, those are okay. So that I can close that page. Now I'm okay. So let's see here. I
think what we've seen in the last 5 minutes or so are some big jumps in cards. When I made the comment about the Bergeron being about equal value to his Young Guns PSA 10, that was about $1,800, and that wasn't very long ago. And now we're sitting at $3,500. That's crazy. And I think cards like I'm going off the top of mind here again, but the Guy Lafleur, I believe, has gone up quite a bit in the last few minutes as well. And I'm sure there's others. I think this is one of those nights where we talk about, well, all you need is 2 people to drive up an auction price. I'm sure on a number of these cards, there might be 3 or 4 people right now that are still duking it out.
Oh, for sure.
Including Jeremy.
Sure. Yeah, I am literally duking it out. I can tell that I'm in a couple of bidding wars, and I'm also in some 3-way bidding wars. I can tell you that as well, because I haven't bid yet in this window, and the cards are into the next window. So I know there's 2 people there for sure.
Yeah, and I just wonder, I thought that was an interesting comment on the Brian Leach, and I wonder if it has anything to do with not being in the Rangers sweater, if that is, it shouldn't be, I wouldn't think, given the card is so special. But when you think about it, he was actually came up, I think, in relevancy a little bit with last season when you had Erik Karlsson go over 100 points as a defenseman, whereas the only defenseman prior to that to have, not the only, but the last defenseman prior to Karlsson have 100 points, I believe, was Leach in 1991. So I agree with you there that these defenders, and especially a huge point producer like Leach, for a card like that to go for $40 is, we'll have Young Guns right now that sell for more than this, of guys that will never score more than 12 goals in a season. So it's just funny how this hobby works.
Yeah, no, good point. These are special cards. Even just the base patches out of 10 are special cards. The one-of-ones are beyond special. Beyond. Okay, guys, it's updating right now. Let's see what if anything else is sold. Looks like Gordy is still going at 2,900. Where's the Gretzky at now? Gretzky is still going. It's up to 22. Gordy one colors up to 5.25. Okay, so now we're mixing pages here, it looks like. I think everything on this page is probably on the second page now. I don't know. I don't want to take too much. I'm going to go into here. No, I shouldn't have done that. I should just refreshed it. All right. YK says, I feel like defenders get no love unless you're like Orr or Makar. Yeah, or it's a very special card. You're not wrong. I would say you're definitely not wrong about that. Refresh this.
Jeremy, are you
Let's
surprised
refresh
at
this.
all that the Gordy How is uh the bid is significantly higher than the Wayne Gretzky? Talking about the patch out of 10, or do you just think it's because the How patch is
Yeah.
just that nice that's driving it up?
No, I am surprised by that. I am definitely surprised by that. I wasn't expecting it. So I thought the Gretzky would easily outsell the Gordy, and it still might. It still might. But okay, so what has sold now, guys? Brendan Morrow 312. These are we saw all those already. These patches have done 132, 93. These have all sold. We saw that. We saw this. We've seen all this. Okay, I'm going to close this window now. And now we are left with this one here. So everything's on one page now. Gretzky's at 2,200. Ray Bork's at 250. Perot's at 190. 5 1/4 for the one color. They're beside each other now. That's nice. 5 1/4 for the one color, and 2,900 on the nice one. The nice one. Medano's up to 330. Neely's up to 165. Patrick Waugh's up to 320. This just got a bid up to 550. Bergeron's at 3,800. We have just under 3 minutes left in this window, guys. Got to get your bids in. 2,100 on Phil. 12 1/4 on Grant Fuhrer. 470 on Gaborik. 900 on Hextall. 1,600 on Iginla. 800 on Robitaille. 290 on Svatos. 19 1/4 now on Guy Lafleur. And the other two cards going still, the McDavid black jersey patch auto, 1,025, and the Gretzky auto at 1,400. Dan the Card Man enters the chat, says, this isn't mean, but the anxiety is so damn relatable. Oh, man. Yeah, I am feeling it right now, Dan. I tell you, I am feeling it. Hobby Champ says, Leach was like Orr and Makar. That's the crazy part. 11th time all-time defenseman in goals. Yeah, I won a Stanley Cup. Brian Leach was like one of the best power play quarterbacks in the history of hockey. Definitely hear that. Okay, let's go back up to those Gordies, as I'm going to have to go put in another round of bids here in the next minute and a bit. So 22 on Gretzky up here and 29 on Gordy. I still think the Gretzky should outsell the Gordy, but I might be wrong. It'd be really cool if I'm wrong on that, but I don't know. We will see. We will see. Let's hover right here, Josh, while I go put the pressure back on you and go check my bid status, please.
As you're going through them, what's going through my mind, and having done this show now, I think you said we've done this maybe 35 times to this point or something like that, is how many cards are still live? Usually by this time, we might be down to 1 or 2 cards. But again, it just speaks to the specialness of the cards that are available tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go another half hour. If people really, there's a couple of these that people just dig in their heels and fight it out till the bitter end. Because again, like we keep saying, you look at, for $2,900, this Gordy How patch. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna, you might see maybe the one color again, but to see this card with that patch is there we go. Got another bid right there, up to 3,000.
3,000. Gretzky still at 22.
Yep, 20 seconds left.
Wow. I'm just checking. I just put in a couple of bids, just checking to see if they're standing up still.
Well, we're gonna find out now if a bunch of these close, or
we have 1 minute they close. Oh, wait a second. Now we're into the 1 minute window. Oh gosh, I really got to get my. Okay, I'm gonna be slightly distracted here now, Josh, as I put in a few more bids.
Well, how many cards are you bidding on still? Are you comfortable sharing that information?
I'm not gonna divulge that quite yet. I'm gonna wait until we are done, and then I will show all my cards. I promise. I will show all my cards at the end of this.
Okay. Keep us guessing. Keep us waiting.
Sorry about that.
What happened, Mike? Mike Kemmel is in chat with Luke. Oh, you got the Robitaille 101. Congrats. That is a very nice card. So there's, I think, what do we have? Maybe 4 or 5 cards now from the chat that you guys have won tonight. That's not bad. Still a lot of them in play, I'm sure.
Gretzky's up to 26 now, Josh, from 2,200. Did it sell? No, it's up to 27 now. 600 here, 3,100 here. Medano's up to 350. Bork's up to 260. Perot's still alive at 200.
Well, the Gretzky got a bid right away too, Jeremy.
27 on Gretzky now. So 32 on Gordy. Okay, I got to go do bids again here for a second.
All right, Hobby Chan says, a hot hobby take. Gretzky doesn't get nearly the hobby love he deserves. Almost everything of his is extremely undervalued. Yeah, I don't know about that, Hobby Champ. So, because if you look at like we track the top 25 players that sell the most cards every month, and he has been the king of card sales for the 18 months we've tracked that, and it's not even close. He typically sells 50% more cards than Connor McDavid does, and I think if you look at all time, like the biggest sales in the hobby too, that he's going to really dominate that list as well. All right, Mitch, did you get the ones you want? Did you win the fill? Is that done yet? If you said you can finally breathe, then you can share. Well, Cards AH, I think he won the Phil, Lafleur, and Spatos. Now, are those the 3 that you really wanted? Or is there any that you missed out on that you wanted as well? All right, waiting for Mitch to answer. We're down to the last 5 seconds or so, and we're going to see now the Gordy How already got another bid. So it's at 3,400.
And
the Wayne
3
Gretzky's
on
at
Wayne.
3,000. You might have called it, Jeremy, that Gretzky might pass the Gordy How.
Well, that Wayne is now sold for more than I paid for mine, which was nicer. So I like to see that. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of cool to see. Yeah, I'm just in bid mode now because it looks like I'm in some wars here, and there's not a lot of time to.
Yeah, it goes fast and furious.
Do it.
Can you scroll down just a touch to see if the Gordy How got a bid or if it might close in the next 20 seconds?
Damn,
Do it when you can.
Lose those items.
I just feel like a lot of these are not closing. Like we could be here for a while. Been awesome. No, I did not bid on 2 cards, but I lost. So, and I usually don't bid on the auction here while we're doing it because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Our Hobby Champ says a card out of 50 of his playing days sold for under 300 last week. That's a Jordan. It's a $40,000 plus card. What does the StarQuest Gold Jordan go for? 100,000 plus. Well, I think you're comparing basketball to hockey though, and there really isn't a comparison as far as hobby values go. You can make on our show tomorrow. We did a big deep dive into what's happening with PMGs, and same thing goes there too. Look at a 97, 98 Jordan PMG versus the first Gretzky PMG in 2012. There's not. It's dramatically different by factors of 40. Right, as far as the Jordans, that much more. But I do think though, yeah, if you compare Gretzky to other athletes in other sports, sure, he doesn't get the
maybe
same
Josh.
amount of love.
32 on the Gretzky. Looks like that sold now for 38.40.
Yeah,
and it's the How is definitely going to outsell it. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. How did I lose that item? Damn.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's something's because someone's putting in a bid bigger than mine by the time it gets in, so it doesn't get in on time. I've won some, so that's good, but not all of the ones that I was hoping to win.
Mike says we're down to 11 cards left in the auction, so we're getting there. These are going to go fast with these 1 minute extended bidding windows. That's for sure. We might say the Gordy How might close here. Got a bid up to 3,700. It extended it for 1 more
37 on
minute.
Gordy. Yeah. 37 on Gordy.
Nice to
Okay.
see some love for my guy Mike Modano too.
Yeah, he's up to 470. 210 on the Neely.
Would have been better in a North Stars jersey, but what can you do?
Oh, bid.
Well, 4,500, almost 5,000 for 4,600 for the Bergeron. That's a pretty big number for a Bergie card, but no, I can't say I'm shocked either.
There's a couple that I didn't get that I really wanted, but can't win them all.
Are you still active with any, or are you done now?
I am still active. So I just need oh, look at that. Jerome's still going at 1950 here. Yeah, these orange sorry you lost, or I'm pretty upset about missing out on a couple of these cards. Okay, I got to do this now and do this.
Just going to look up really quick all-time Iginla top sales and see how this compares. Well, if you don't count the multiple player auto cards, this should be the highest selling Iginla card of all time as far as just him on the card. There was a 1996, 97 SPX Forest with Iginla, Yager, Brodeur, and Gretzky autos that have sold for more. There was a SP Authentic with Gretzky, Lemieux, Malkin, Ovechkin, and Thornton, and Iginla, like a 6-way auto that sold for, well, actually a little bit less. So, like I said, this is the biggest selling Iginla card of all time.
Biggest selling Iginla card of all time. $2,000 now. 24 with BP.
That's crazy. A sweet card though. Great patch, too. Got another bid. 2,200.
2,200 now. 2,200 now. Wow.
You able to scroll back up to the How and the Gretzky? Check in on those ones.
Gretzky sold 38.40. How sold now 45.60. But this one is still going. The consolation prize is still out there.
Yep. A lot of history being made tonight, name. It's kind of cool. But special cards, right? Special cards will bring out the bidders, they'll bring out the money. And I'll just go back to it's just so this is not common for us. We don't get to see these cards a lot. Hockey, the hockey hobby is full of just fanatical collectors that tend to hoard cards like these for life. So it's a little part of me just wants to sit and watch. Oh, Louis, you didn't win the Gabrick, huh? What did that one end up going for?
Gabrick
600, something like that?
630.
Yeah, man, for me and Troy had Wild season tickets for Gabrick's the majority of his big run at the Wild, and he was fun to watch. I'll tell you that.
My gosh.
His 5-goal game, pretty legendary.
This is pretty crazy.
Still going.
Still going. Yeah, there's a few I didn't win, one that I really wanted to, but that'll happen, I guess. That'll happen.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your wrap up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be yeah. Oh, okay. So let's see.
As my mom would say, you'll be crying in your soup as we do our wrap up over the cards you didn't win.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I'm in one. I'm definitely in one bidding war here with somebody. I wonder if they're watching. Pretty serious bidding war, actually. I'm way more than I wanted to spend on this card. So, but you know, you do what you got to do, right?
How many
What
are
do we
still
got here?
live? Does anyone in the chat have that number? Like, how many are we down to?
In that we are watching. Let me see. Let's do a refresh here, and we should be down to only a couple cards. I'm guessing that we had selected 1, 2, 3, 3 cards left. Modano, Gordy How, and Raymond Bork. Modano's up to $800. $800. $420 on Bork, $1,075 on the consolation prize, Gordy How, which I feel bad calling it consolation. It is such a great card.
Looks like the Aginla sold.
The Aginla has sold, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's what Mike is
so
reporting.
Now anything that is sold is no longer showing up. That Modano is now up to $850.
Wow. That's really climbed because it wasn't that 5-10 minutes ago at $400, something like that. I think that's doubled, more than doubled in extended bidding.
Which one are you talking about? Sorry?
The Modano. I think the Modano is more than doubled here in extended bidding. I want to say it was $400.
I think it was
Maybe
even
10
less.
minutes ago.
Yeah. It's yeah, I'm currently in a bidding war on that card, I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
Yeah. What do we got here?
You're a Mike Modano guy?
I'm a Modano guy, yeah. I'm a Modano guy.
That's a good question, Firehawk. I'm not sure.
Oh, somebody, I think we know who won. I just got a text message on who, not like this comes from just someone in the community on who won the Gordy How. I'm not going to say the name. I don't know if I'm free to do that. But win it. But I definitely cost that person. Sorry about that to them, but I wanted the card. But I didn't get it. That's just more than I can spend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
this is
the Modano sold.
Intense.
So what happened on the Modano, Jeremy?
Well, it sold for $1,020.
To who?
I don't know. Someone who outbid me. I mean, there
you
are
lost. Okay.
No, I'm out. I'm out on it. Yeah, I'm out on it.
Okay.
So
we got
now
two left. We got the
we're down to the 2 cards right now here. The Gordy How at 1175 and the Ray Bork at 460. I think that those let's see if they're done. As it turns over, they are both still in action. Gordy's 1175, Bork is 460.
Who would have guessed that these have been the last 2 cards?
Right? I know. Who would have guessed? I mean, this would have been a pretty astute guess. Like someone said earlier, I could see it closing in on the better card once people lose out on the better card, right? But yeah,
okay. So I have a question about the patch. Now, if you look at the picture, his jersey is very white. The patch is not so white. So I haven't seen a lot of vintage jerseys from the time where was it more of a cream colored jersey at the time in red, and maybe they just used some Photoshop on the jersey there?
Could be. All right. Oh, Borg just got a bid up to 490. Gordy's up to 12. He was at 1150 a second ago, wasn't he? Now he's up to 1200. I'm deep in this, so I can't even really get to the comments here. I'm just looking at them now, though.
Well, the Gordy How needs a bid in the next 20 seconds in order to stay alive. Currently at $1,200. This could be it.
All right, 12 seconds left in this round, everybody. Gordy How and Raymond Bork still on our screen. Mike Modano crosses the $1,000 mark. That's pretty big right there. And Ray Bork still going. Gordy How is now sold for $1,440. $1,440. Everything else is sold that we were watching tonight. And we will do a recap shortly. I am still involved in a card that is not even on our screen, just to let everybody know that. Oh, wow. These, there is some bidding going on tonight, everybody. Oh, is there bidding going on tonight? So if we even,
Another bid on the Bork.
We can even do this. We can go to, let's see. If we go to here and here, let's get the hockey. Oh, missed the hockey button. Let's get the hockey button as well. Hockey. And let's sort by, how do we sort by recent bid? I can't, not sure how to do that. So just hang tight a moment.
Congrats, Ice Water Cards. It's a nice, beautiful Gordy How card. Don't think you'll ever regret that purchase.
Oh, Bork just got another bid up to $575. Wow. Intense stuff, you guys. Intense stuff. Lots of comments. I can't even really look at them all. I'm kind of seeing some. Mike Kemmel, someone really wanted that Modano. His out of 10 sold the 1-1 Luke Robitaille. Louis bailed on. Glad I bailed on the Modano before I knew Jeremy was going for it. Doug Gilmore still getting bid, says Shannock. Love the patch on the How, says Hobby Champs. Oh, Ice Water Cards won the How consolation prize. Congratulations. Still an amazing card. I mean, there just aren't that many of them that exist. So congratulations. I mean, that's truly amazing. Truly amazing. All right. Well, we have 17 seconds left in this bid window. Raymond Bork, base cup patch auto at $600. Going to go into the next window. Looks like there's a couple people going to town on that card. Let's see how long it's going to turn over. It'll go orange, and then let's see how long it takes for that to turn green. I am not bidding. So if it goes green, it means that there is other people involved. I can tell you I'm not in.
Keep your hands where you can see them, Jeremy.
Yeah, well, I might have to move one of them soon, but for now, they're
okay.
staying where you can see them. For now, they're staying where you can see them. Now you can't see one of them. I have to apologize. You can't see one of them right now. Those are still orange. And the Bork gets a bid up to $625 now. And that's going to push it into the next window. 10 seconds left. I would like to know how to... Oh, wait a second, because we have my favorites here. Let's go to all items. And then I want to sort by recently added. Where's the recent bid? I thought you could sort by recent bid. Maybe not when you're in a sport itself. Huh.
There are cards that are still active or something like that. Unless there is only 2 cards left. The Gilmore and the Bork.
Are those the only two cards still going? I mean, that could be it. Set by featured. Let's go by highest price and see what that does. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
everything else is sold. Yeah, you're right. That's it. Everything else is sold in the weekly, except for the Ray Bork at $650 and the Doug Gilmore at $360. Those are the two that are still left. That's all that's left right now. And let's see how long these go. Will they go green? They both just went green right now. Bork at $675, Gilmore at $370.
What's that Gilmore patch? Can you?
That's part of the E, maybe E from
Okay.
Leafs.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing maybe it's the F. It's right from the main logo, though. I would have to think. Well, these are going to the next window now. 10 more seconds. Let's see. Josh, we're usually done 20 minutes ago.
I'm in bed by now, usually. Yeah. This is kind of fun.
All right, here it's going to turn over. They are orange now. Will they go green? Let's see them go green. I feel like they're going to go green. Like it's just, and there they go. They both just went green.
All right, everyone's got to vote. Which one lasts the longest? Now, which one sells the most? Which is the last card standing tonight? You got to vote, Jeremy. You got an opinion? Which one?
Oh gosh. Well, maybe the cheaper one. Maybe Gilmore will last a bit longer.
That's my guess too.
Yeah.
What does chat think? Gilmore? Okay.
We're going into the next bid window here no matter what. So we got 9 seconds left. It's going to go into the next one. It's going to go orange. And how long will it take for those oranges to turn green again? We are about to, let's let it turn over. There we go. They are orange. Are they going to go green? We are about to find out. Not yet.
We don't get paid by the hour, so just make a bid.
700 and 380 right now. 37 seconds.
Ooh, I don't know.
Look at that Gordy How there. $33,000 for the Gordy How 101. One of the best cup cards ever made, in my opinion. 20 seconds left. $12 seconds left.
Why are you cracking that, Mitch? Just curious as what your reasoning is.
And they're green again. Yet again, they are green going into the next bid window one more time.
Have you noticed that they're getting bids at the exact same time?
Yeah,
like the last three
rounds. The same people bidding on them for sure. It's got to be the same people bidding on them. And they are orange. My question is, how many people are bidding on them? 2 or 3?
All right, fair point. I just didn't know if there's some other reason. I guess that would be the assumption.
Well, going by most expensive or highest priced, Gordy How 33,000, McDavid 21,600, and then a big fall to Gretzky at 6,300 for the SGC 8. The Bobby Orr 49,20. The Gretzky 49,20. Look, remember this? It was at like $1,000, and I said, I know people that bid on these cards. This is going to go for more than $1,000, and look what happened. Went for more than $1,000. Oh wait, what happened up here? And they're done. They have both sold.
Wow.
$870 on Raymond Bork. Oh my God. And $468 on Doug Gilmore. Plus, oh no, that includes BP.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Nobody won. Wow. Last card standing. It was a tie.
It was a tie. Yeah, it was a tie. All right. Comments now, everybody. There's a Gilmore Cup 1 of 1 going to. Awesome. Hobby Champs, can't wait to see what Jeremy was bidding on. I'm going to show you that right away, everybody. I won a few cards tonight. Dan says, keep saying green, push those prices up. Yep, I did my part in that tonight, I'll tell you that. We had votes for Gilmore. Bork keeps going. Gilmore has a lot more room to go up, says Mitch. Gilmore lasts longer. Gilmore will be the last one. Gilmore will both of you on that. Cards Age, people are just bidding to keep you guys up. Mitch says people are going to be upset when I crack that Lafleur out of the BGS 9.5 slab. I don't blame you. The cards I won are all getting cracked out of these slabs tonight. I won a few of these cards tonight. Professor says, will it ever leak who was the owner of the cup lot? I know who it wasn't, but I don't know who it was. Cards Age, what did you do this weekend? Watch green letters and numbers turn orange all night on YouTube. Mitch loves it raw. Alex says, yes. All right. Wow. Okay. So you want me to reveal what I won tonight? All right. I'm going to have to do a quick unshare, and I'm going to share my other window now, the one that has my bids in it. So let me just get this all set up, and I will share with you guys what I did win. Luckily, I have cards selling next week on PWCC that will pay for my pay for all this. Thankfully, let me just make sure I get this all won. Cards I won. All right. Let me see. Okay. I won 20 cards tonight, you guys. 20 cards.
20?
There was 20. I wanted 27 of them. I missed out on 7 because when I hit bid, I was already not the high bidder and I didn't realize it. So 7 cards I did not win, and I'm upset, but you know, I'm not that upset. You can't win them all. I did win the last 2, guys. I did win the Ray Bork and the Doug Gilmore. Those are both mine. Here's what I won tonight. I won the Todd Bertuzzi, and these are all getting cracked out of these slabs. Every last one of them are getting cracked out. I don't care what the grade is. Todd Bertuzzi, I won this one. I won the Ray Bork for about, $600 more than I wanted to. The Martin Brodeur, that's mine. I won the Jerry Cheevers, the Phil Esposito, the Sergei Fedorov, the Simone Gagne, the Doug Gilmore, the Ron Hextall. That's actually an upgrade, so I'm going to sell the one I already have. The Habby Bulin, I would have gone higher on that one. Ryan Miller, the Joe Mullen, the Marcus Naslund, the Cam Neely, the Gilbert Perreault, the Brad Richards, Jeremy Roenick, Brendan Shanahan, Steve Shutt, and the Rogie Vachon. That's what I won tonight.
Wow. What are the ones you lost out on?
Patrick Waugh, Ed Belfour, really upset about those ones. Mike Modano, I was probably the underbidder on that. I just couldn't keep on going. $1,000 US convert. I mean, I'm not in buying cards mode right now. I'm in sell card mode, but which is going to sound funny considering what I just showed you guys. But sometimes you have to pick up some cards when the cards like this just don't come up very often. And I'm happy with the prices on all of them, except I'm not happy with the Gilmore at $468. I was hoping for $250. So someone bid me up pretty serious on that one. And then the Bork is way more than I wanted to spend, but I collect this set, and I collect this set, and this just like added to my set, right? Like yeah. I've started the night with like 30 something of these cards, and I just now added 20 of them. So
how many are in the set?
Good question. I think it's, let me just go check my checklist, because I do keep a checklist for these things. The thing is that like the original base set in 0506 was 100 cards. It looks like there's 93 cards. So there's 100 base cards, but I guess 7 they didn't have memorabilia for. So there, again, that's 93 of them on the checklist that I've been using. And I think I have now 53 of them. Adam Crawford, I Do I need the Heatley? What number is the Heatley? Do you know what number it is? I'm just looking at my want list. I think I do need the Heatley. I'm just scanning the checklist here where I kind of, I yellow out the ones I have, and I'm not seeing. I must have skimmed by it there. I'm not seeing the Heatley. After cracking, what will you do? Well, just put them with the rest of my cards. I'll just put them with the rest of my cards. Professor is asked, he says, after cracking, what will you do with them? So I collect the Cup base patch parallels from all years. Here, you guys want to see something pretty crazy? Let me show you something else. I'll show you my collection of these things so far, and I will show you the ones that I have. And again, I collect them from all the years, and I have over 340 cards altogether from this run, but they're all from different years. I already had the Lindros, Shannock. Yes, I did. Hobby Champs is probably waiting for tag game use grading. Maybe. I mean, I've got so many of them. I mean, that would just take up way more room. I might just leave them. Thank you, CC. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brendan Ryan. Okay, so let me stop that. I'm going to share this window with you guys. All right. So here you go. This is my collection of Cup base patch parallels out of 10 or out of 8. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom to get the count. I have 340 total cards. So I'll scroll up, and these are from all the years. So you can see that. So here from the first year, I have a couple doubles here and there, but not many. Two of the Solanis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Was that 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 minus a double. So I had 35 of them, and I just added 20. So I'm up to 55. Number 71, I have Heatley right over here. This is my Heatley. It's not going to show up for you guys, but yes, I have the Heatley. Adam, thank you for asking or offering it. Cast99 says, what a collection. Thank you. Thanks, Jake Dahl. Cards age. It's really hard to collect the set when some are slabbed or some aren't. Doesn't look as good. Yeah. So because I have, and none of them are slabbed. I bought them slabbed. I crack them out, and this fills up 3 2-row shoe boxes in my collection, these cards. And I love these things. I love them. And yeah, so I'm happy now to say that 0506, I think I have more 0506s than any others, than any other year. But some I have quite a few. Some are harder to get, and I love all of them. Like the 2010s, the 2011s are really what started it for me. The 2011s, 2012s are beautiful. I don't have any 2013s. For whatever reason, I don't have any from 2013. A few from 2014. And then what happened was somewhere along the way, Upper Deck started having these cards autographed when they had an autograph deal. And I didn't collect the autograph ones because it just added so much cost. And now where I'm at is I'm done. Like 2020 forward, I'm not collecting these anymore. I'm done. It's just, there's too much. And it's all Sean Couturier now. And like Philip Forsberg, they're just not doing the same breadth of players anymore. So I'm going to keep on going from 2005 to 20. I think the latest, I only have one from 2019, and I have about 12 from 2018. So I'm going to keep on doing those. But that's it. 2020, when they changed to the Italian printer, I have to draw. I'm just drawing the line. I'm drawing the line right there. That's enough. Here, I'll put them up again just so you guys can have a peek. And I mean, I can scroll through. One day, maybe I'll do a video. I'll scroll through all of them. Like it's a lot to go through one card at a time, but some of them are pretty awesome for sure. Going to go to some comments, guys. Dan the Cardman says, I've mentioned this before, but I've forgotten. Do you top load or mag holder? These are top loaded, you guys. Sleeve, top loader, And then the top loader then goes into these guys right here. These holders right here, what the top loaders go into, and they kind of seal up, and that way I just feel like they're also somewhat waterproof. Hopefully, keep those top loaders nice and clean. So it's a sleeve, a top loader, and a top loader protector. 3 layers of protection. Cards AH says, I did a UD sealed one-touch set, so anyone who graded them couldn't even acquire and crack since the rest were sealed. Rally Sports, any Marchand out of 10? Yeah, there's a few Marchands that I have in that collection. Shannock says, I prefer cards in one-touches versus inconsistent different slabs. Yeah, I have several cards slabbed, of course, but when it comes to this particular PC, there's just too many of them, right? I mean, Josh, imagine if these were all top-loaded. I mean, I would probably need 6 boxes instead of 3, and they weigh a lot more, and just the cost of holders, 350 cards times $4 a holder, you're $1,500 just to put them in top load in one touch. Now, I will mention to you guys though, if you look behind me on the wall right there, I do have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of them live up there. And those are in mags. Those are in one touches because that's what those holders are for. And once this episode is over, I will go put these 2 back up there. I can't believe what these sold for tonight. I can, but I'm like, wow, did these sell for big money on PW? I mean, the Medano did $1,000. That's my fault, but even that one. Hobby Champs, I appreciate it. Jeremy's a true collector. Been doing it since 1980 and loves superior fits. So do I. Josh, you ready to go to sleep or you want to make any comments?
Both. But no, it's been a lot of fun. It came up in the chat and I was thinking to myself too. So I just want to ask you and anyone else that is considering cracking these cards, or when you buy slabs and then crack them, do you send the label back into the like BGS maybe in the case to remove it from the pop report? Is that something collectors you think should do, or is it not the responsibility of the collector?
Good question. In the past, I have not done that. I do have a few labels sitting in a jar over there that I could, if I one day decided to send in. I don't think any of the cards that I've cracked have really been significant enough cards to do that. These ones here, being that they're out of 10, and that mine are locked away, and the grade doesn't matter is the other thing on these cards. That's why I didn't even look at the grades.
Sure.
I didn't even look at them. If it's a 9.5 or a 5, I'm breaking it out and I would have paid the same money. So whoever spent money to grade these, I think, you didn't get, and maybe you did get extra money because maybe the underbidders would have pushed it up further, but
sure.
I certainly would have paid the same for raw or graded. I will keep the labels and I don't know what I'll do with them, if I'll send them back or just keep them for my own record. I'm not sure. Is it the responsibility? I don't think it's the responsibility. Once you own the card and that holder and you've purchased it, you can do whatever you want with it. Is it the hobby friendly thing to do? Yeah, I think that's an easy answer. I think it's an easy answer that it is the hobby friendly thing to do, but I don't think it's incumbent upon the owner of the card who cracks it out of a slab to send that slab back in. I just don't think it is. I think what is incumbent upon collectors is to understand that pop reports are vastly overstated. Especially PSA and Beckett as well. I mean, Beckett maybe even more so because so many people prefer PSA and, crack a Beckett 9.5 to get a PSA 10. Beckett 9.5 true pops are probably, 50 to 60% of the stated rates, for several cards, something like that. Just a guess. I'm just guessing. What do you think? What does the chat think?
I think I agree with you that it's probably the hobby friendly thing to do, but yeah, when you buy something, it's yours and you can do whatever you want with it. So, but I think to your point about the importance of the card, if it was a really, really big card that I felt was important for the hobby and it wasn't a total pain to do it, because that's the other thing is I have no idea how difficult of a process that is to do, if the grading card companies make that easy or not. I would hope that they would do it in a somewhat frictionless way, but I'm sure they don't appreciate the extra work either.
Yeah. Mitch says, I've cracked tons of cards. I've never done anything with the label. Brendan Ryan says, pop reports are obsolete for that very reason. I just want to state too, like if I were to crack out a PSA 8 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky, I would because I feel so passionate about that card. That one I probably would. I'm not gonna pay money to mail it into PSA, but next show I'm at, I might just hand it to them and say, here, do what you guys want to do with this. You know, are you gonna do anything with it? That I would do, but it would have to be an important card for me to kind of track it and go through that process, I think. Dan the Cardman says, I put the labels between the top loader and the outer sleeve for reference. Same with my comics. Yeah, so I sold a card a week or two ago on Slab Sharks, actually, and it was a card that I had cracked out, and I kept the label in the little, I keep my cards like this. This is just a thin card, but I put the label in there, the BGS label. And if you were to look at the auction, you would see that they scanned that in on the back too. So people would know that card had been graded. So that's what Dan the Cardman is talking about there. Flyerhawk says, do you think people should disclose that you cracked it if selling, maybe stating what the grade was? I'm kind of on the fence there. First of all, grading is inaccurate at best. So it's like, that person on that day at that grading company thought it was a 7. It could be a 5, a 6, a 7, 8, or a 9, in many cases on another day by another grading company. So I don't know. If now let's turn it around. If I'm buying a card and that card has previously been graded, would I want to know that it was previously graded? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, because it could impact me to either not purchase the card that I wish I would, or to purchase the card that maybe I otherwise wouldn't. So I don't know. I don't feel like it is, but I think if you're the person that grade, yeah, I actually do. I think you should. I think it's the right thing to do ethically. If you are the one who graded it and it came back a 4 or whatever, and you crack it out and sell it, I think the right thing to do is to say that this was a 4, but I don't know how many people are actually going to do that. Money would incentivize you not to do that. And money is a great incentivizer in this hobby. So, but I think the right thing to do is to disclose it. I think ethically you should, but everyone's going to do that on their own. Does that make sense to you, Josh?
It does. And I want to make a comment without coming off preachy, but I probably will anyways. I always look back at what's the value of my integrity.
Yeah.
Right. And I would rather get $200 less for something and protect the value of my integrity and have a completely clear conscience, even for minor stuff like that. In the grand scheme of things, is that a big infraction in the world? No, it's not a big deal. But I think that's what would compel me to disclose that the card had been graded.
Here's a twist, though, guys. What about this? You have a PSA 7 86 Fleer Michael Jordan. You crack it out, you send it back to PSA, it comes back at PSA 8. Now are you compelled to tell everybody that it used to be in a 7 holder, that it might be a 7 on another day? Or are you just going to let it be an 8? It's kind of a similar, it's the same sort of discussion, but it's taken it a step further. What are the ethics on that? I mean,
your point too, and I'm talking now against my own argument, but I do very much agree with your point about how most grading is very subjective. And we've seen it time and time again where on any given day, an 8 can get graded a 10 and a 10 can get graded an 8. And so, um, actually, I would prefer rather than disclosing the grade, because I look at tons and tons of card sales every day, that people actually took better pictures on eBay than disclose the grade. So you could actually gauge the quality of it. You guys would have no clue how many cards sell for $10,000 where you can barely see the card. And it just blows my mind that people buy cards with such horrible photos. But I'll amend my point to that.
And your comment about like what's your integrity worth? Quick story. I sold a card privately a week and a half ago for over $5,000. Took pictures of the card, sent it to the buyer. Buyer receives the card yesterday, sends me a message. I'm not going to divulge the card or the buyer, but I will share if I can find these DMs. Sorry, my DMs let me see if I can find Here it is. He writes to me and says, "Hey, Jeremy, thanks again for working with me on the card. I unfortunately noticed a few issues that we didn't catch in the pictures beforehand. And the issue was visible in the pictures." He says, "I attached some pictures below, was a little disappointed to see that, but I'm still very happy to have the card in my collection. Not asking for anything. I just thought I'd let you know." And I wrote back, I said, "Darn, I didn't even really notice it. I'm glad you're still happy. Blah, blah, blah." And then I said, "If you want to return it, I'll refund your money." Because even for over $5,000, I'm not going to take that risk, especially, as a content creator. It's just not worth it. So I said, "I will refund your money if you want to send me the card back," and that's that paid for all my stuff tonight and then some. So it's a lot of money, but your reputation integrity is extremely important in this space and in really every space. Let's run through the rest of the comments and we'll sign off, Josh. Richie Rocket says, oh, and by the way, just the end of it was, he says, "I appreciate the reply." Anyway, he says, I'm going to keep the card. I'm happy to own it. Thanks again, etc. So he's keeping the card and
there you go.
He's happy. So that's great. Richie Rocket, "I can say I have switched a PSA 10 into a BGS 9.5. Am I weird?" I don't think you're weird. I think you're probably wanting it to be uniform with the rest of the cards in your collection. And plastic commands a lot of money in this hobby. Literally, plastic and paper or foil flips command a lot of money. There are several BGS 9.5s that are higher quality cards than PSA 10. So if that's what you like, if that's a holder you like, and that's uniform, I don't think you're weird, Richie. I think you just like uniformity in your collection. Hobby Champ says, "I think it's a good deed to send them back, and it could affect the value one way or another of your raw card in the future." Good deed, good way of putting it right there, I'd say. Mitch says, "I have honestly never heard of the practice of sending labels back to the grading company until Josh just mentioned it." Yeah, I never really heard of it until last year or so myself. Hobby Champ says, "They will take it off the population if you send it back," which is the only reason to send it back to them. Brendan Ryan says, "You should destroy the label so they never end up in a fake slab." That's a pretty interesting. That's a really prudent point there from Brendan for sure. Dan the Cardman says, "I always disclose it. I don't sell many. I have cracked though." So again, he'll always show the old label. Professor says, "Can Josh share the 2 cards he was bidding on?" You were bidding on 2 cards tonight? I must have missed that.
Kind of last minute, but I did it half-heartedly because I knew you were bidding. So I love OPG weird stuff, and when I saw I didn't even know that little Lemieux pop-up was in there. And so when I saw it, I was trying to one-hand bid on it, but I lost because I failed to keep up on it. I think it went for like $30 or something like that. And then the other one, I was sort of half-heartedly interested in the Stutzla employee exclusives PMG, but lost out on that one too.
I liked that card too. So just I do collect, and I've been collecting like this for a while, but this is that pop-up set that the Mario came from. And so let's see, I don't know if I have this set complete. These are from 2012. So I'm missing card number 9 there. I'm not sure what it is. Corey Perry, Bobby Orr, Sagan, Tim Thomas, Ryan Miller, Ginla, Skinner, Jonathan Taves. Anyway, I'm missing card number 9. Maybe that's the Lemieux. So I've got, this is a 5, 4, 5. Oh, I'm missing 2 cards on that sheet. That card is, and it's a 50 card set. So I guess, I have the Mario. There's the Mario right there. So I didn't need to buy tonight's card. But so what am I missing? 1, 2. I'm missing 3. I'm only missing 3 out of 50. I'll pick those up on somewhere like ComC eventually, for sure. Dan says, graders should create incentives for people to send the labels back in. Discounts or something opens a can of worms with just a thought. Yeah, I think that probably needs some further thinking and brainstorming how that would work. But I think that's probably not a bad idea, Dan. Like, pay for them back. If the grading company wants integrity on their population reports, buy the labels back for $1 a pop or something like that. That would incentivize people to send them back in. Brendan Ryan says, once the label is outside the slab, it becomes a liability. Yeah, unless you send it back to the grading company. That's how you either destroy it or you send it back to the grading company. Flyer, yeah, but you're right. Because, the card that I sold that I included the label was a card numbered out of 10. So I think that's you're kind of safe there, right? If you're talking about a commodity card, I think it becomes more of a liability. Flyerhawk says, I think people have to know that trusting the grade in itself is a risk. Yeah, that's a good point right there. JP says, you were the one, Josh, that bid on the card. Cass 99, crazy card snake. Thank you very much, Cass. And Hobby Champ says, PSA used to have a program like that. Oh, well, why did they stop it, I wonder then? Why did they stop it? Well, all right, guys. I think we're good to wrap up. Easily an hour longer than most episodes, but this is a special one tonight. And I added 20 cards to my collection, so yikes. Josh, anybody final comments from the chat, guys? Final comments from Josh, and we're going to wrap up.
It was an awesome night. Now I'm really hopeful that there's something crazy next week too, because not that the auctions aren't always good, but this felt special, and like it's just awesome to see cards like this, and for people to get the chance to own some of them too. I mean, that's what an amazing opportunity it was for people to add Grail pieces to their collection, whether you're a newer collector or like a guy like Mitch who's collected the cup for forever now.
Well, I will let everybody know that next week I do have cards selling in the auction, and I got some bangers, and one of them is a Gretzky rookie, and I will say, and I'll show you guys the card next week. I think it might be one of the nicest ever offered on PWCC ever. It's an 8. It's not a 9. It's an 8. Not even 8.5, but it got the PWCC E, so the top 15% eye appeal sticker, and it's a beautiful, beautiful copy. So I will next week have to balance out kind of pumping my own card with objectively explaining my card, but obviously I had it because I loved it and I thought it was a great copy, and it's on that. You can go see it right now. It's on PWCC's weekly right now. Ends a week today, and it is the PWCC -E PSA 8. I also have Bobby Orr, a couple of Bobby Orr rookie cards ending next week. A Ken Dryden rookie in hockey. I have some non-hockey as well selling off next Sunday night on the platform. A Stan Mikita rookie, a Billy Smith rookie next Sunday as well. I think I'm just scrolling through. I have several cards that are going to be selling next week, but most of them are baseball. So there you have it. Yeah, Flyer Hawk. I'll be freaking out a little bit. I'll tell you what, it'll be a lot because I have no control over the selling, right? Buying, I have to be active in bidding. Selling, I can just sit back and watch the bids come in. So I'm not going to be freaking out too much, but I am going to be I am going to be happy that I'll be able to pay my tonight's bill and then some next week. So that'll be next week on the show. All right, guys. Thank you to all of you guys. Hobby Champs, aren't they up now? Let's review. I'll show them to you if you want. Josh, I don't know if you want to take off, you're welcome to. I know you're tired. So
I'm good. Let's look at them.
Okay. Let me just go to the weekly, and I'm not going to show from within my own account. I'm going to go to the auction itself. And let's see if I can. You'll know which ones are mine because I won't have the bid button open, and we are in my account now. So, but I don't mind showing you guys that. Troy says in 2 weeks it'll be PWCC Weekly number 100. I wonder if there will be a lot of bangers. Josh is a trooper, says name. Yes, he is. Okay. So here is next week's auction. So let's see. We're looking for where there's no bid now button. So this is cool. I guess there's just the one. This is my Mikita, my PSA 8 Mikita rookie. Great copy. Really well centered. No bleed through of the red ink from the back to the front, which is often a case with these cards. So there's the Mikita. All right. Yeah, sorry, don't actually we'll see the Orrs right away. My Orrs are beautiful. They're both eye appeal cards. So these are both my Orrs here. They both got the E. And I mean, look at these. You won't even believe how nice these cards are for the grades. So we have a 2.5 and a 4. Okay. So here's the 2.5. Now it's a 2.5. So you're going to notice corner wear, but look at the centering on this card and the overall quality. I mean, you just like look at other 2.5s. This thing puts them to shame. It's a beautiful, beautiful copy. And then the 4, look at this card. I mean, the centering, the edges, the image, the corners are like, you know, the corners are even good for a 4. This thing's a 4, like easily could be a 5, a 5.5, in my opinion. So those are the two Orrs that I have selling next week. And then the Gretzky. Let's see. I think the Gretzky's and then I had the Billy Smith as well, which is also, the Dryden. So here's the Dryden. This is a PSA 9 Dryden. Beautiful copy as well. Like, look at the side-to-side centering on that thing. It's like bang on. Top to bottom centering, it's a little high, I think. A little high. But, I mean, this thing is just beautiful. I've had this for a long time. Had this card for a long time. It's
Look at the cert number is pretty old.
Yeah, yeah. The Orrs are also back in. This one's still got the new one, but they're relatively older as well. I mean, I've been collecting this stuff for so long that you can't help but have some original. I have some original PSA slabs, and then this Billy Smith is the PWCC as well. This Billy Smith, this actually was acquired with the old, before PWCC got into A, E, and S. They just had one like eye appeal designation, and that's what this one had. And then they've now converted to their new system, and it got the E, the middle one. So I was happy about that. But this is a great card. 72 OP or 73 OPG, Billy Smith, high eye appeal. I think the last one I have up is the Gretzky. So let's look at this. I mean, just look at it from there. Look at the centering on this thing. Like, the centering is perfect. It's perfect. It does, it's not a 9. It does have a few issues with it, but look at it like that. I'll point out the issues now. So let's start with first of all, notice that the black and the blue match up everywhere. There's no white break in between the black and the blue, which you guys know I like that. There is blur on the bottom of the legs here, so that is a registration issue. You can see that the oil drop is situated to the right, so that's what's causing that. You've got, bit of the rough cut right over there that might be more than the rest of the left edge, but otherwise that left edge is just beautiful. Top corners are great. Top edge is perfect amount of rough cut. Right edge, same thing. Bottom edge, same thing. I mean, outside of the slight registration issue, this is like the perfect Gretzky rookie. I was surprised. I thought it could have got the S. I thought it could have got the top 5%, but they gave it the E. I'm happy enough with that. I'm guessing the S might have come in if maybe if that little bit of rough cut wasn't there. It's not as bad as the SGC8 we saw tonight, where there's a chunk missing. Yeah. This is just a little bit of white, more of the surface there showing, or the stock. Faces.
Was this a tough one to let go of?
Oh yeah, this was a tough one to let go of for me, for sure. But here's my rationale. So I have 2 others. This was my highest graded, but I have a PSA 7.5 that is as nice as this, but it's more off center, that I've had since 1991, and I have a PSA 4 that I absolutely love. I mean, it's a 4, but it's perfectly centered. It's got the uniform corner wear, which I love. I love a bit of uniform corner wear on an older card. And and I need to raise some money, so I'm letting it go. And it's a tough one to let go, but I thought, PWCC to get I knew it would get an eye appeal sticker. I was just, I've examined enough Gretzky rookies on PWCC to know that it would get an eye appeal sticker. And that'll help out with the money I'll get for it. So yeah, I'm going to miss it, but it's not like I kept my original, which is the 7.5 that I've had. Mm-hmm. I had older ones, but really since that was my original to date is my 7.5 that I had graded way back in 08. And the 4, I love the 4. I might end up moving the 7.5 and keep the 4. I'm okay with that. I love my 4.
Yeah.
Neil, Irish Flyers, wanted to buy it from me at Expo. I didn't have it with me. He reached out to me ahead of time and said, hey, would you consider selling your 4? I was surprised that he even knew I had it. I said, Neil, I can't sell it. I think I'm going to be selling my 8 and I'm going to keep my 4 and my 7.5. And that's just the decisions that you make sometimes. Yeah, like I'm seeing some of the comments come in here, guys. Baz, welcome to the show. Name says the Billy Smith is so nice. The edges on those cards from that year chip up so easy. They really do. Hobby Champ says Gretzky's fire. Your card fund is going to be something else. Cass says centering is perfect on that Gretzky. I mean, it is. Look at this thing. This is like I said, this might be the nicest Gretzky rookie I've ever seen on PWCC. Ever. Like nicer than 9s, in my opinion. I know it's my card, so I have to say, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, everybody, but
sure.
I really feel I'm being objective. Terry Fortune says, beautiful cards. I can't believe you are moving some of those. I can't either, Terry. Trust me, that was not my plan. But life situations can change on you and things happen, but the second part of the plan is that if everything, falls into place for me, the reasons that I'm selling these cards, I should be able to go on a shopping spree at the Spring Expo and on some future PWCC auctions and replenish some of my cards. But I just don't feel that I need a PSA 9 Dryden. I'll be happy with a nice 7, So that's kind of where I'm at right now with a lot of the vintage stuff.
Makes sense.
There's your preview, guys. Professor, I'm not going to show the baseball right now. Honestly, there's just too many of them. We're going to wrap up the show. But I will try to show them another time, Professor, and maybe I'll even flash them on my my Instagram story as cards that I have coming up for sale on PWCC next Sunday. So, all right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you for being here, Josh. As always, great co-pilot episode. This is the longest episode of this ever, and thank you, chat, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Congratulations to everybody that won cards tonight, including myself. I won 20 of the 250 cards at auction. What is that? I won 5%, or just over. No, just under 10% of the cards tonight at the auction. Crazy. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Name. Thank you, Hobby Champs. Thank you, Mike. Welcome back to After Hour. All right, guys, that's it. We're gonna wrap this up. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you again soon. With that, this episode is over.
Yes.